Good numbing. Hello YouTube and welcome back to session 3 of Metal Gear Solid. Where last time we left off, we managed to stream for about 50 minutes before we had more internet issue. For some reason, Metal Gear Solid in particular has just been really antagonistic with my internet. I don't know why the streams keep just not surviving, but they aren't. It's really annoying, but it is what it is. But we are going to try and get this game finished today because, to be blunt, if we don't get it done today, I don't know when I'm going to get back to this. Kurumi's been messing with you? Yeah, it feels like it. And the reason why I say that is because tomorrow Shin Megami Tensei 5 comes out, right? Or 5 Vengeance, and I'm going to be playing that for the most part over the weekend going into next week. Obviously, I'm going to try and get Sonic Frontiers finished as well, but next week is the last week I'll be streaming before I take a short break. Which is also just to jump the gun a little bit. As much as I'm excited for it, I won't be starting the Elden Ring DLC next week when it launches, just because I'll be starting my week off literally like 3 days after it comes out. So I won't really, we'll just start it and then I'll have to stop, so I'd rather wait until I'm back. But yeah, we got this week, we got next week, and then I plan on taking a week off. The week off that I was going to take at my birthday, but then we had internet trouble around then as well, so I ended up streaming through it to try and make up for the days lost. So I want to get this done. I want to make a good head start on Shin Megami Tensei 5. At some point, we're going to go and get Sonic Frontiers finished. And then when I'm back from my break, assuming I don't stream it until next week, we will also try and get back on Final Fantasy, because I've been really itching to get back to that. And it's been nearly 2 months, I think, since I last played it. It's been a while. But I digress. Let's fire off. I hope you're all doing well. Last time we left off, we literally started a boss fight with Liquid, and then it all went to shit. I don't need to read the mission log, thanks. We literally started the Hind D boss fight. Mostly right, a bit ticked though. Why, what's wrong? Headset wire kicked out. Oh god, yeah. It's why I've got this current headset on. When I first started streaming, I was still on my old headset, and that old headset, that was beautiful. My old headset was so good, and and I've been unable to get a good replacement. I'll say this replacement's okay, but it's still not the same. Anyway, we're starting off the Hind D boss fight. The way this boss fight works is you can see in the top right on the radar, the purple dot is where the Hind D is that's moving. You can use that to navigate around, get your pot shots off, and then hide. Like, only has one working speaker. That's a shame. I don't know if that will hit. Hey, it did. Awesome. Also, fun fact, if you're playing Twin Snakes, the GameCube remake, like a lot of boss fights in that game, this boss fight is infinitely easier because it's a lot quicker to hot swap. And because the Twin Snakes remake doesn't have the leveling system, you have a maxed out health bar. So it's a lot easier for you to just do this. But speaking of Metal Gear, Metal Gear Delta got gameplay footage and another trailer and an interview, and to be honest, even though Konami's recent performance with Splinter Cell, Silent Hill is really disappointing and depressing to me because they've got the worst possible team to make the second remake. I think that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to hide here. Yeah. Metal Gear Delta actually looks really fun. At least in my humble opinion. I mean, it's just Metal Gear Solid 3, so of course it's going to be fun. But it looks really sick. Roger, the guy's got 1 point, man. So that's all I can read. And it's just really cool how his one kicks So it's really cool. Oh, I love that. I love it when it feels like the character you're fighting against almost feels like in control of the music. Like the boss theme is like kneeling to them. Also, if it sounds like I have a sore throat or I'm clearing my throat often, don't worry. I haven't got actually like a proper sore throat. It's genuinely just hay fever kicking my ass. I've gotten hay fever pretty damn brutal this year. And it's annoying because hay fever, it's another one of those things that I didn't have when I was a kid. I didn't start getting hay fever until I was an adult. Like, I was just like, why has life forsaken me this way? I was fine when I was a kid. What the fuck? Oh, when the music goes quiet, they pull this trick again in the sequel. When he goes quiet, it's because he's trying to sneak on you. So just pay attention to the purple dot and get ready to shoot the moment he rises. Like that. I think it was 2, there's some extra bit to it. I get it. Oh, he's doing it again. I think he rises a little quicker this time, if I remember rightly. Because he now the game's aware of the trick, like, knows you're aware of the trick, they don't have to kind of, like, bait you as much. Also, do I have enough ammo? I have 7 shots, okay, we should be fine. He's doing it again. But yeah, they do this again in the sequel. There's a Hind D fight in MGS2 where they do this, where like eventually the Hind will back. Well, it's a Harrier in 2, it's not a Hind, where it will back right the fuck up. And then the music goes quiet whilst it's backed up, and you have to like trying to figure out the time. Will you? Hey. Because I probably could just bum rush this now. Oh, fuck off. What are you... Wait, there is no health bar. The hell are you talking about? Oh, he's going to do one last kamikaze attack. I know what this is about. Character as well. Character has been everything since the very first game. I'm trying to think of another game that kind of does that, where, like, they build up a fight across the whole series. I think we're okay. Ha 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 ha. Where they build up a fight across the whole series, and then they proper, like, fully lean into it. Very light. I mean, yeah, but that wasn't that they spent the whole series building it up, because they kind of just introduced Virgil in DMC3 and then you beat him. He was so popular, they kept on bringing him back. Speaking of... See you in hell, Liquid, because you know he's definitely dead now. And he isn't coming back. Alright, dude. Speaking of Devil May Cry, Capcom did a poll of like every single game they ever made, asking people to vote on what their favorite Capcom game is, and Devil May Cry 5 won by a landslide. It had like 4,000 more votes than the very next thing. And I was just like, hey, hey Capcom, don't make us wait another 11 years for Devil May Cry 6. People want more Devil May Cry. No matter how badly you mismanaged the series behind the scenes, people still want more Devil May Cry. God fucking damn it.
That's incredible, Snake. Listen, I just want to make sure again.
I mean, yeah, they technically introduced him in DMC1, but it wasn't that they planned to make him this big, long-running character. It was supposed to just make a boss fight have a surprise to it. That Nilo Angelo was actually Dante's brother. You know, that sort of shit. Like, it wasn't the intention at the time, because Kamiya, when he made it, wasn't that... Like, that wasn't the direction he really wanted to go with it. It was just he was only involved in DMC1. And Itsuno just thought that, like, leaning into themes of, like, broken family would just be an interesting way to approach the franchise, which, to be fair, he was right. There is anything. I mean, in a lot of ways, I'm sure there probably is. It's just, it's hard to come off of my head. I think it'd be easier to say there isn't one that has done it as memorably or iconically, if that makes sense. Well, like, because, like, yeah, there's always going to be Fritz series that I've done, like, the long commitment. I mean, we're literally playing one. You know, Liquid technically doesn't truly die. He just infuses with Ocelot, and then you have the whole like all that bullshit with 4. Like Liquid is like the long-lasting character of the entire like Metal Gear Solid series, but also technically so is Ocelot, and both of them come together to be like one ultimate climactic fight at the end of MGS4 that plays the main theme of every single game in the series up to that point in it. Oh, I have to go back down and deal with the cameras. Like we have to go. We have to hop in the lift or the elevator. There it is. Hey, I still have some stingers. Nice. As he says, it's insanely important to a degree, to the point where a cult introducing like the like Sky first chapter a second, so as an effect 10 games later, many years and several arcs are fair. I did see that there were talks, not as in like official developer talks, I mean like within like rumblings in the community, that people are kind of interested to see if they will do a remake of the Sky trilogy at some point, or like a remastering instead of just like a straight port, because people find it suspicious that, especially with how much more popular the Trails series has gotten in recent years, that they haven't done anything at all with Sky. And so people were suspicious that the reason why they haven't done anything with Sky is because they actually are doing something, it's just it's going to take them a while. If that makes sense. Oh. This isn't later Metal Gear Solid, you can't just shoot it. Am I really going to waste one chaff for this one turret because I don't want to get shot? Nah, I'll take the bullet. I know it's also, they were PS3 titles, and PS3 is always, in retrospect, a hassle to rework and code out of your games, which is why some developers just don't bother. But I also get the suspicion where it's like, it's weird that like you would have thought they would have tried to get on that kind of quick to get it ported to more platforms. But it feels like nothing's happened nothing too much has happened yet. Oh, I'm gonna get my Farmus out, because I know what's coming up. But I know it's things are never that simple. Huh? Otacon, why did the weight limit go off? Maybe it's because you're carrying like 50,000 fucking guns, Snake.
Snake, there's something I forgot to tell you.
Oh, this fucking conversation. What? This is like this conversation is two brain cells trying to solve a conundrum. So, they can't do it.
The one I'm wearing, that leaves 4. Hey, this isn't first grade math class. I thought I'd get one for you, so I went back to the lab and. Yeah.
The weight limit went off.
4 suits were missing.
There's 4 stealth suits missing. That should be enough for Snake to be like, oh. And then suddenly, oh, but the elevator went. It's really strange.
It was like someone was intentionally holding it.
For some reason.
When you were riding on it, did the weight limit warning go off? That's another thing that bothered me about it. The warning.
Like, how is it neither of them realized yet? You know, this is what I mean. This is my two brain cells fighting. How have neither of them figured it out? Isn't that about the weight of 5 people, and there's 4 stealth suits, and only now does he realize? Yeah, no shit!
Too late, Snake. Now die.
Do I have a do I not have a stun? Ooh. Alright, Farmus it is. Ah! I know your eyes aren't deceiving you. These guys have more health than normal. Because they just kind of count this as like a semi-boss fight. There we go. Another fun fact, in Twin Snakes, they forgot that. They forgot that they gave those enemies more health, so they just have standard health enemies. So what I see people do is as soon as the fight starts, they put a C4 down on their feet and detonate it. They take a shit ton of damage, but it will kill all 4 of the guards as well. Oh, sniper bullets. Gee, I wonder if we're approaching another boss fight. It's not a boss fight that you're supposed to use a sniper rifle for, but it's way funnier if you don't. Am I going to be that rude to the next boss fight and not use the sniper rifle for the snipe off? Of course I am. Let me get the Nikita ready. Yeah, that should be enough shots. I'll just double check in. Oh, you know what? It's actually a good question. How the fuck do I get out of here? Where's the door? Oh, there it is. Oh, quickly, there's so many cameras in here. Quickly, hurry up, Snake. Oh boy, I hope I don't get shot. Ah!
Snake, are you okay?
Oh, so I just reset
Were there any
reset
other
the
stealth
YouTube chat. Now all your
prototypes?
comments have come through.
No, there
Because
were
I was
only
paranoid.
5.
No, it's not that either. It's a huge copyright
This is
problem,
still
actually. Big
camouflage
dispute
then.
between
What
Xseed,
are
who
you
published Looks Like
talking
Sky
about?
1.3, and
Someone's
Nisa,
aiming
who
at
did
me
Crossbar up till
in the
now.
middle of this blizzard.
Oh, so
It's
would they have to effectively
Wolf?
remake it then? Was that the
Sniper
problem?
Wolf? Yes,
Or like
it's
was it
her.
even
It's
like, would that even that
definitely
not be
her.
enough to solve it?
Otacon, you sound like you're happy. No, I'm not. So then what is it? Snake, please don't kill her. Are you
Actually,
insane?
whilst this cutscene
Please.
plays off, I'm going to
She's a
completely
good
reset the
person.
YouTube
You
app,
know that if you talk to her.
just in
Listen
case
to me,
that
kid. She's a
makes it more
merciless killer.
consistent.
I can see you perfectly from here.
Is it possible, basically? Well,
I told you.
German cameras are
I
brutal.
never quit the hunt. Now you're
Well,
mine.
hopefully they can reach
No,
an
you
agreement
can't.
then, if there is a
Don't get between
dispute.
a wolf and its prey.
Because I think it's a shame to
Pretty
like
good
just
if you
basically
can hit me in this storm.
someone who like me, you know, who's kind of interested in getting into the series. I would love to start from, you know, Patient Zero. I'd love to be able to start from Sky instead of starting from Trails from Zero. But
Can't you sense me nearly?
unless I'm going to hunt down the games on the
mistake for a
PS3, which to be
sniper to
blunt, my
reveal our
PS3
location.
catalog has already got a few too many
Is
games
that
that I've hunted
right?
down that I want to start.
Well, I'm going to send you a love letter, my dear. Do you know what that is? It's a bullet straight from my gun to your heart.
Please, Wolf. Snake,
Also, I feel for
no.
Ocelot here.
Quiet.
Ocelot,
Don't
Otacon,
get
sorry.
away.
Otaku convention.
gonna pay you
This
back
guy
for
is just
the
like,
barrel.
please, no,
You
my
men are
best
so
friend,
weak.
and
could
the
never
girl I
finish
love.
what you
Stop
start.
trying to kill each other. And they're like, we're going to kill each other. No! And I'm going to enjoy this fight. No, please! It's not a PS3 game, though. Oh, isn't it? I thought it was. Anyway, the cheap strategy is that you sit right here, drop a Nikita, and you just go and bomb her from safety. I thought the Sky Trilogy was a PS3. Remasters of Vita. Okay, that I might tempt myself with then. Because sometimes, like, those lunch breaks at work, sometimes those lunch breaks at work, they get a little dull. I'll just take my Vita to work and just play at my lunch. I need a new Vita, like, time kill game anyway. It was like PS1 or 2. Is it really that old? I genuinely thought, like, not like it was a new series, because PS3 is still getting on, unfortunately, but I thought it was, like, mid to late 2000s it started. She's still looking for us. Just like, Snake. There we go. Snake, I know you're out there. Snake, I'm ready for our sniping match. She's like, yeah, I'm ready too. What was that explosion? Well, what do you think the last 6 explosions were? Chip mines? No. No, Wolf, we're doing sniping matches my way. If you decide to do this fight legitimately, I actually find this fight easier than the first Sniper Wolf fight, because once you pin her down, her cover is shit. Her cover to try and hide from you are just these trees. Whilst in the first fight, she can like really just vanish behind some of those pillars. It's just you got to find her because it's a big area. 2004. Like I said, that would have been PS2 then, yeah. Damn. Let me make sure the video on in English. Yeah, for some reason I just thought all of them started on the PS3. I think it's because a lot of like a relatively long-lasting JRPG franchises that are still around today that I love were kind of born in the PS3 generation. I think that's the thing with me. I'm just so used to so many of them that I just assume that was too. Because I think I made that same mistake many a moon ago when I did my review for Ninja Wars. I had to clarify in the comments. I assumed Senran Kagura was a PS3 title, and then I found out it was born on the Nintendo 3DS, and I was like, this was born on the Nintendo game? Alright.
I'm a sniper.
There are ports, but I'm not entirely sure that one's translated. Fair enough.
Never moving a muscle. Concentrating.
But during my week off, I'm going to be spending a lot of that time, honestly, just catching up with games that I haven't, like, really sat down to play with. Like, I'm going to be working on the Sisters vs. Sisters review, which, I'll say, it should be Game Maker as well, but let's just see how it goes. Because I imagine, like every single other Neptunio I played, that really won't take me too long to get the review written for. Even V2, back in the day, I think it was, like, over the course of a week, I had finished the game and had the script ready. Like, it really didn't take me that long to put it together.
I was born on the battlefield.
Was that 8.25? That's so specific. Just say you liked it, but there are a few little things you hope get better in the future. It's so much easier than, oh yes, 8.25.
Day after day, driven from our ragged shelters.
I'm messing with you mostly. You get what I mean, though. That's so hyper-specific.
Each morning,
I am really enjoying SVS. I have some gripes with it, sure, but at least so far, I'm enjoying SVS. To be honest, the only annoyance I have is that I wish you could turn off the weight of the camera.
Stare at the morning sun.
I understand why some games have it, and I know some people prefer it, but I genuinely hate a weighted camera. I want it to be static. I want it, when I spin the camera, it spins instantly, and when I let go, it stops instantly.
But then,
Not it revs up and then slows down, which is what SVS's camera does. As I said, it feels like there's like a brick attached to the camera, so it has to like gradually slow down when you let it go. And so I get that it makes it more immersive, and like the sudden stop can be a little less disorienting for people who do get disoriented easily. Just make it an option, please. I hope Game Maker does do that, because it's genuinely, like, it's the only gripe I have, like the major gripe I have with SVS is that the camera just annoys me.
not from inside,
Because I prefer it snappy.
but from the outside.
Whereas I gave SVS.
I watched the brutality.
Yeah, but that's me. So this is why I don't do numbers. Because if I was in your shoes, I would just say I liked SVS, but here are my problems with it. I liked Game Maker more, but there are still a few lingering issues here and there, and explain what it is. I just prefer doing that approach than numbers. I know that's just my thing, but I feel like numbers can be too definitive to a detriment. Because if you really like something, and then there's something completely different that has nothing to do with that game, and you give it a higher score, people will go, oh, so you think that game's better than that? And it's like, well, no, look, they're different things. This is like in its own zone, in its own thing, but it just causes problems because people still see it that way.
Now I am nothing more than
Obviously, it's just each to their own. It's just the older I got, the more I steered away from scores. Because it just felt it wasn't worth it. I'd rather tell you what I liked about it, and tell you what I think's interesting about it, and then tell you what problems I have, and then let whoever's watching come to their own conclusions. Because otherwise, especially as if you're a review writer, at least in my humble opinion, when I write a review, I want people to listen to the whole thing and not just skip to the end to find out what the score is and then judge on that.
Solitary.
You know?
You're no dog. You're a wolf.
Who are you? Are you Saladin?
Wolf. You spared Meryl's life.
So I still disagree, but that's just me. I feel like scores become way too final. I'm way too. I'd rather give whoever's watching all the pieces and let them come to their own conclusion. But I know that's just a preference thing. I'm not going to try and change your mind, but it's just how it is.
I wasn't waiting to kill people. I was waiting for someone to.
I don't like when people put games in a series into tier lists. That I'm more okay with, but that's also because I do it. That I understand. People are like, okay, I kind of put this in the same sort of sphere as these games
Set me free.
in terms of how much you'll enjoy it and in terms of what you expect from it. But even then, I keep my tier lists to developers only. So I have a tier list for all my Gust games, but I'm not going to start putting in my Tomb Raiders in it. You know, that's a separate list. Or my Resident Evils.
What is it?
My gun. Give it to me.
And going back to actually talking about this game for a second, in hindsight, looking back at across the whole series, it's genuinely kind of wild how constantly Otacon gets done dirty. And I understand it's supposed to be a core point of his struggle. That he is naive, he has his heart on his wrist, and, he's quick... Because he fell in love with Sniper Wolf just because she was nice to him, once. He fell into, the classic simp trap. But it's the fact that everyone he loves dies. I mean, heck, if you even want to count Snake as someone he loves, whether as a brother or because gay mans, depending on how you want to look at it, we know he didn't have that much time left after MGS4. He's gone too.
But I couldn't save her.
Otacon is genuinely,
what are you doing?
depressing how much shit this man goes through. And what's even more worth writing about is that no matter how many times he loses people dear to him, how many times it's either the Patriots' fault or, in this instance, technically Snake's fault or, his own fault with EE to an extent,
Don't trust anyone.
he still persists in doing what he thinks is right. He never cracks under the pressure and loses his mind, or he never gets angry at his friends. You know what I mean?
Hang on to my codec.
Otacon remains true to who he is, regardless of how much shit keeps throwing at him, and the fact that that is held true across the entire series. The further you go on, the more I've respected Otacon. The more the series went on, the more I deeply respected this character. He went from this complete weirdo geek meme character. It's it's just like one of my Japanese animes. To genuinely almost a founding father of what makes this franchise great. And also, this is a fantastic bit here.
If we make it through this, I'll tell you.
Okay. I'll be searching too.
Used to be an anime otaku. Yeah, he says that in 4. He's trying to hit on Naomi, and what's his opening line? What's the start of what everyone, when they first heard it, assumes going to be a colossal fumble to get the girl? I used to be an anime otaku. And she just goes, right. And I'm you fucking blew it, Otacon. You fucking blew it. That's a level 7. And yet somehow he gets the girl anyway. I mean, for 5 minutes. Oh, is this the go fuck yourself room? It is. It's the go fuck yourself room. Look at the minimap. That's all mines. Kojima, you son of a bitch. So good, gatekeeper. I mean, it still works. She just still, like, drags him into the back of the, hangar afterwards. But she still falls for him a little bit. I say that, it's Naomi, and considering what we get to learn about Naomi later on, there is a very good chance that she was playing him at least a little bit, but that's... Otacon didn't care. It was someone else for him to, like, feel a little attached to that then just got stolen from him almost immediately because... Fuck him, I guess. Oh, no, she probably would have always been accepting. My point... Do you mind? My point is when you're on your first date, you can bring that up in your second date when they've got to know you a little better, not the very first fucking date or like the very first interaction when you're still trying to get her to be interested in you. You can get that once once you've got the hook in, then you can start introducing all the other stuff. You know. He's having over his. I believe that's the correct way to go, so I'm gonna check the last door. Or the last few doors. Ow, ow, you fuck! Oh, and there's all the Nikita missiles, because I think even back in when they were making this game, they knew. They knew. There's gonna be people that are just gonna like hide behind here and bomb. I mean, you can do it technically a little in Twin Snakes as well, but in Twin Snakes I find it far less necessary to do so. Also, there's the third cardboard box, and that is because down here is the third quick travel truck. Even though there's no guards here, if you hop in a box and hop into the back of this, you can still quick travel. But this is the last quick travel point for the record. This is the last area that you go outside in, hence why it's the last truck. But now, if we need to backtrack for whatever reason, we have all three abilities to do so. We have the heliport, the nuclear warhead storage building, and the snowfield. There's no situation in anime, 10 your political friends that you like anime. It's not the personal interest stuff there. Anyway, sorry, S-Wolf. Let's, fucking wrong door. I'm gonna leave S-Wolf alone now. Her body's just been chilling there. He's just been, like, running around like, oh, where's this go? Oh, where's this go? Do I have another chaff? I do. How are they gonna do this in the Master Collection? This is where you change discs. What disc to? Oh, okay. Okay, Master Collection. Okay, very cute. Okay, Master Collection. Very cute. Very cute. Just a good the exclusive is wild explained anything like this. It's schizo fair. But yeah, that's where you change disc. Which is funny, because like a lot of games that had multiple discs, it's not an even split at all. It really is not an even split at all. Like, there is a lot less. Like, we are way past the halfway point. So they did this in the Vita version of the Dragoon. Oh, that's cool. I imagine they do it on the PS1 emulated version as well. Or something like that on the PS1 emulated. How many discs was Legend of Dragoon back in the day? Like, are we talking like Final Fantasy VIII, where it was like 4 discs, or... or was it a smidge more reasonable than that? Always 4. Ooh. I think the last game to have that many discs was was Lost Odyssey on the 360. I feel like that, I know that game was for this, but I feel like that was like the last one to really be that fucking big. Oh, damn it. Another 7 killer. Well, I doubt no company, no matter how they may advertise it, actively wants another game to die. That's usually something that gets manifested within the community. They usually want every game to succeed. They just want to be a part of the success. It might have been like in the publishers, like it's like Sony probably wanted something that did like Final Fantasy numbers that they had complete ownership over. But the developers, I don't think for a second they would have like actively wanted it to replace Final Fantasy. They probably wanted it to just do as well and then go alongside it. I get what you're saying though. So it's just a shame, and like I think it's always one of those things. The biggest shame of it is that it genuinely had a cool and interesting idea, but it came out 6 months after Final Fantasy literally just did the exact same fucking thing. And I mean, to be fair, people didn't really like 8 when it first came out, or not as many people. I like 8 for what it is, but it does have problems. I'll call it that. I mean, yeah, especially in the 90s, selling something on "this is so good, it's gonna beat the thing you like out of hell," you know, that kind of bullshit. Yeah, I can imagine that being a huge advertising thing in the late 90s. That sounds like something they'd do. Oh, how am I doing on explosives? In general, Claymore C4. Because we're approaching a boss fight where it's kind of a necessary evil for you to have a good amount of them. I'm also going to put my body armor on because we've got another enemy rush coming up. Because we're in, like, to be blunt, the action half of the game. Stealth's going to start taking more of a backseat the further we go along here, and it's going to be becoming more aggressive. We also have a dumb section where we're going to have to backtrack in here soon, but one thing at a time. It's me because at least the damage and vision. And it went into Bobby's expectation. Yeah, and it then went on to sell 1 million units, which although, yeah, wasn't the fucking 11 million that Final Fantasy VII did, 1 million units, especially in the late 90s, it's absolutely fucking nothing to scoff at. But what do we know? And American composer too. Make it stand out. Yeah. But they did everything they should have. It just... I guess Sony just weren't happy enough. And don't get me wrong, the other reason why I bring up why I think it's so impressive that it did as well as it did, like, despite it, is because it was such a competitive era for RPGs. Like, people forget just how fucking many options there were. For RPGs that weren't Final Fantasy. There was Suikoden, there was Suikoden, there was Wild Arms, there was, you know, like, there was so much. I know I only gave up 2 examples, but there's so much shit. There was Revelations came out that year, but Revelations Persona. or sorry, Suikoden, as Psychomantis puts it in this game. Yeah, with the culture vulture, fair. Where'd my B armor go? There you go. There was was it Dark Cloud? I think Dark Cloud was PS1. Oh no, that's why I said the way Psychomantis puts it. I wasn't agreeing with him.
Snake, I've got something to tell you about Naomi Hunter.
What about her?
Is this conversation secure?
Don't worry, the monitor's off.
Okay.
What's up?
I was in the FBI too, you know.
I didn't know that. What's your point?
Dr. Hunter's story about her background, about her grandfather being an assistant secretary.
That's alright, we're gonna start getting ooh, maybe Naomi can't be trusted.
Undercover to investigate the mafia in New York.
Yeah, what about it?
It was all a big lie.
What did you say?
It was really bothering me. Why would she lie about it?
She lied.
She might be a spy.
Ridiculous.
Come on, even a high school student could see past it. The head of the FBI at that time, Edgar Hoover, he was a well-known racist. Didn't Naomi say that her father was Japanese?
Yeah.
Well, back then, there wasn't a single Asian investigator. Also, in the 1950s,
It's funny because, ooh, Naomi can't be trusted. At least 2 or 3 times in this series. Yeah.
First started in 1960.
And it's like, it starts to get a little annoying in 4, because it's just like, who do you actually work for? And it turns out she's basically like lone wolfing it, but she's got her heart in the right place. She's just lone wolfing everything. I mean, right now her heart isn't in the right place because everything that she did to try and get Snake killed as revenge for her brother.
I don't know. Either that.
I mean, we'll find more about that later. Oopsie daisy. But this is like a fucking very old game now.
If I find out anything, I'll call. In the meantime, be careful.
Question for it. But anyway, we have. If you notice the fact that we went from the Hindy boss fight to the elevator chaos to the Sniper Wolf boss fight to one room that we did stealth in to an enemy mook to mines to we're about to get into another boss fight. Are you starting to understand what I mean? But it's like once you're in the second half of the game, it goes by real quick because it becomes far more of an action game. I just said, who benefits many of your actions? Yeah. Oh, I know the Twin Snakes remake has a lot of really, like, dumb, crazy cutscenes in it, but in my humble opinion, I think the one for the Twin Snakes cutscene tied to this boss fight takes the cake. It is pure fucking derangement. Vulcan Raven throws an entire container at Snake, and it just explodes in front of Snake, and then when the dust settles, Snake's just holding the Stinger missile launcher, like straight back, just staring straight back at Vulcan Raven, like, yeah, I fucking did that, bitch. I was just like, what are you on? They didn't try and dive out the way of it or anything, he just stood there and blew it up.
The Ravens and I were testing to see what kind of man you were. The judgment is decided. The Ravens say you are a true warrior.
Yeah, like in MGS4, like I kind of got the impression that what she was doing was good. The problem was that it was always in her own best interest, which is why she never like truly committed to anyone. Like sometimes she was helping out Ocelot, sometimes she was helping out us, sometimes she was standing back with Ocelot. And you're like, what the fuck? Then she dies.
Your ancestors too were raised on the barren plains of Mongolia. Inuit and Japanese are
But MGS4's story is the epitome of roll of the punches. If you take a second to take a step back and analyze the story, there's a lot of shit that gets kinda dumb and weird in 4, because they were trying to wrap up so goddamn much into one cohesive package in one game, and it's just like, that was never gonna happen. There was way too many things, way too many loose ends, way too many pieces. It's why MGS4 retcons so much of 2. Because they had to try and make it work and make some degree of sense. Otherwise it would have taken them way longer and probably more than one game if they didn't.
It is an event where two opponents pull each other's ears while enduring
admin retention.
It tests spiritual
He's
as
maximum
well
in
as
your typical
physical
comparison.
strength.
You want to pull each other's ears?
The form is different, but the spirit is
Snake,
the
don't be
same.
dumb. He's being metaphorical.
Snake. Ours will be a glorious battle.
This isn't glorious. It's just plain killing. Violence isn't a sport.
Well, we'll see if there's iron in your words.
Anyway, this guy, the way this boss fight works is this guy can see across the universe, as you can see by the minimap. You gotta use explosives. Just don't fucking forget where you planted your explosives, for the love of God.
Come on out.
Oh shit! And B doesn't lead the Y, yeah. That's it. I love MGS4, but I'm not ignorant to how poorly paced a lot of its story was. Hey, run in a straight line after me, I dare you. Of course he doesn't, he went down, you bastard. Uh-oh. I made it funny. I mean, yeah. Also, if you're wondering how you get those items up there, these crates, as he shoots them, will break and fall. Raven, can you run into one of my fucking... Thank you. Where the fuck are all my bombs? Okay. I don't want to run into one of my own bombs by accident. Uh-oh. Look at it. Look at this minefield I'm setting up for this bitch. Uh-oh. Looking. I mean, yeah, I mean, the big thing we have to remember is that, Kojima didn't even want to fucking make it. He wanted the storyline, the modern stuff to end with 2. Oh yeah, if he spots one of your Nikita missiles, he'll shoot it. But we had that conversation before about, like, you know, he got death threats and all sorts of bullshit. Damn it, he still got it in time. Run into my claymores. Thank you. Run into more of them. Oh, I think he spotted and shot one. I heard one go off, but he didn't take any damage. I think he spotted one and shot it. Didn't spot that one, though. Either that, or he destroyed a crate and it landed on it, which detonated it. Look at this fucking minefield I set up for this bitch. There we go. There we go. I just set up claymores and wait for him to take himself out like a dumb bitch.
Just as the boss said, it is my existence which is no longer needed in this world.
MGS was a mistake. He's 10 times I checked. I've only watched that video once. It was a good video though.
But my body will not remain in this place.
I also watched I think the channel's called Gingy. He did like the franchise retrospect video. I watched that. Was a good watch. With like Metal Gear Solid franchise. He didn't cover every single game. He covered most of them. Like he skipped a Metal Gear 1 and 2, but still cross-referenced them and just kind of brought up Metal Gear 1 and 2's points when they mattered. But then did MGS 1, 2, 3, and 4, Peace Walker, Rising, and then both parts of 5. Oh, and then he did Survive as well at the end, just to kind of like show how Survive kind of was weird. Video, the most TV dramas, fair.
Boss, you are from another world, a world that I do not wish to know. Go and do battle with him. I will be watching from above. First, I'll give you a hint. The man who you saw die before your eyes.
What is it?
Oh yeah, the first of many revelations. The DARPA chief that we encountered.
That was not the DARPA chief.
Dun dun dun!
It was Decoy Octopus.
And there's, yeah, we never get our Decoy Octopus boss fight, because he died the moment we found him.
He was a
He's a
master
character.
of disguise.
So good that he copied the DNA, and so took the cursed blood.
So he drained the chief's blood and took it into himself. But he wasn't able to deceive the Angel of Death.
The Angel of Death.
It's okay though, if you wanted a fight against someone who can mimic themselves and like hide in the scenery, it's okay. It's a boss fight in MGS4.
That is the end of my hint. You must solve the rest of the riddle yourself. Snake, in the natural world, there's no such thing as boundless slaughter. There's always an end to it. You are different.
What are you trying to say?
The path you walk on has no end. Each step you take is paved with the corpses of your enemies. Their souls will haunt you forever. You shall have no peace. Hear me, Snake. My spirit will...
The thing is that Vulcan Raven's kind of not wrong when he says it will always haunt you. Because as I said, there's a common thing in the background of MGS4 that Snake has PTSD. So it does catch up to him in the end. And it's why, like, I think it's Act 4 is where you go back to Shadow Moses in that game. I think it's Act 4, not Act 5.
Snake, it's me.
Master.
This is a cool bit, though. Yeah, absolutely.
Turn your monitor off.
What about Naomi?
Colonel. Is Naomi
Colonel.
there?
No, she's away. She's taking a short nap. So what is this about Naomi?
Okay, maybe we'd better let the Colonel hear this too.
Yeah. Go on, Master.
Well, basically, Dr. Naomi Hunter is not Dr. Naomi Hunter at all.
What?
I thought her story of her background sounded
So we've gone from...
kind of fishy.
It also gets very revelation and heavy, so get used to plot
There
twists.
is an
We just
actual
found out
Dr.
that doing
Naomi
Decoy
Hunter, or
Octopus
I should say, there
was
one.
disguised as the DARPA chief, and now we're going to find out Naomi Hunter isn't who we think she is. The real one disappeared somewhere in the Middle East.
Naomi must have somehow obtained her identification papers.
So then who is she really?
And what's funny is that despite this, they still call her Naomi, even if they find out it's a fake name. But I don't think we ever find out Naomi's real name.
Are you saying she's with the terrorists?
I don't want to believe it either, but she is working for Foxhound.
So you think she had a part in the uprising?
Or she could be working with some different group altogether.
genuinely, like, as much as we meme on some of like the dumb shit across this entire franchise, and to be fair, sometimes rightly so, when they have something to say, sometimes it just fucking hits. And it's why, like, even at its silliest, it always has something. You know? Even Metal Gear Rising, as much as we joke and meme on it, it has its moments where it has actually says something kind of prolific, and you're like, damn, okay. Even Metal Gear Solid 5, as much as I don't like it in a lot of ways, still has it hit. Like the whole plot point being being spelled out to you in a song. Like the entire plot being spelled out to you in The Man Who Sold the World. And then it being a double, like, telling you the story that it's not the original version by David Bowie, it's a cover. Because, you know, the whole plot that you're not even the real version of yourself, so it's not even the real version of the, like, or the original version of the song that's playing. Like, it's so fucking clever, I'm just like, you know, I can't hate this, it's so smart. I don't know, it seems more like the Master is the real spy. Oh, yeah, nah. We'll get to that. Oh, this fucking room. Hey, do you want to see some real bullshit? Let me throw a trap grenade in and run for the hills. You can already kind of see it on the mini-map. There is an disgusting number of cameras in this room. I mean, disgusting number of cameras in this room. Oh shit, was I right? Fuck, we'll get to it later. It's not as simple as him being a spy or something like that, because nothing's ever that simple, but we will get to it. We just got to do... We've got a bit of a quiet... We've got a bit of a lull before we get to the finale of the game now. All of the major bosses, minus Liquid himself, are defeated. Oh, and obviously at some point we've got to destroy the Metal Gear. People can raid area. Yeah, just bring chaff grenades and you'll get into Area 51 no problem. Yeah, you're welcome to Metal Gear Rex's hangar. That absolutely means, by the way, that I completely missed the camera. There's a camera you can find, and I completely missed it. And I was hoping I would find it because I wanted to snag a trophy. Also, there's no enemies down here, so it's only gun turrets, which is why I wasn't too fast if I got spotted. Up. Thank you, Snake. Uppies.
Snake, it's me.
What's wrong? Did you find a good place to hide?
Yeah, thanks to the stealth gear. It looks like they've finished getting Metal Gear ready.
How do you know that?
I overheard them talking. Where are you now?
Right in front of Metal Gear, but it's strange.
What is?
There's nobody here.
Oh, this dialogue makes no sense in Twin Snakes, because they actually do put a couple enemies here.
Quiet.
For some reason in Twin Snakes they decided to like just drop a couple enemies to at least like, I guess to at least like remind you it's supposed to be a stealth game, even though like you don't really do any stealth in the second half.
President Baker told you about.
But I've only got one of the 3 keys, and besides that, like Ocelot said, there's some trick to using the keys.
Leave it to me.
You got some kind of plan?
Well, I'm in the computer room right now. I'm trying to access Baker's private files.
Baker's files? Don't you need a password?
Of course, but there are ways.
Are you a hacker?
Yup, that describes me pretty well.
You only just figured it out, Snake?
I don't know yet. I'll give it a try.
I like that his glasses sparkle through the thing when he asks. But I love the hangar theme. When you're actually in Metal Gear's hangar, the theme that's playing right now, it's still playing off of the game's main theme.
Snake,
But it has such like an ominous vibe to it now. It's like, well, yeah, you are right next to like this giant death machine.
I just got past his 3rd security level. He was a pretty careful guy.
Do you think you'll break in soon?
I never met a system I couldn't bust into.
Okay, keep trying.
And what's crazy is that they do this like this whole build-up thing. We go into Metal Gear Solid 2, and there's a Metal Gear in front of us, like within the first hour. I don't know when I'll cover MGS 2 and 3. I want at least to get to MGS 3 and have that covered before Delta's out, because I want to compare and be able to have like the stream footage to compare. So I won't leave it too long, because Delta looks like it was pretty far along development last time we got a trailer for it. But equally, we still don't have a release window for it, so I have no idea. Ocelot, what? Oh, okay, cool.
You got past security?
Bingo.
Great. So what do you got?
I accessed the confidential Metal Gear file.
So what about the PAL override system that Baker talked about?
I haven't found it yet.
That's what I need to know.
But Snake, I found something else.
What?
The secret behind the new nuclear weapon. Just as I thought, the nuclear warhead is designed to be fired from the railgun like a projectile. It doesn't use fuel, so it isn't considered a missile. That way it can get around all sorts of international treaties.
Pretty sneaky.
Yes, but effective. And that's not even the scariest thing about this weapon.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
It's a stealth weapon.
You mean it won't show up on radar?
Yeah. The truth is, they've been working on a stealth missile since the late 70s.
Imagine having a stealth nuke. Just think about that for a second. A stealth nuke. A nuclear bomb that they don't know is coming. That is terrifying to even remotely think about.
An invisible nuclear warhead.
And yeah, an invisible nuke.
Impossible to intercept. And on top of that, it's got a surface-piercing warhead designed to penetrate hardened underground bases.
We learned that lesson in the Gulf War.
This thing could mean the end of the world.
It's the ultimate weapon. And from a political point of view, it avoids the problem of nuclear reduction and nuclear inspections. Colonel, is this true? Are you listening?
I'm listening.
If word of this got out, it could delay the signing of the START 3 treaty and cause a huge international incident.
Yeah, it would be nasty. The United States would be denounced by the UN. It could even bring the president down.
Did you know this, Colonel?
I'm sorry.
You changed, Colonel.
I won't make any excuses. Snake, listen to me. This new nuclear weapon...
Isn't this game based in 2005? So who was that, Bush?
You mean they ran a computer model?
It would have brought him down? I don't think he needed much.
In this exercise, they needed to get actual experimental data to back up the simulation.
What were the results of the exercise?
It looks like it went better than they hoped for, but I can't find the data anywhere on this network. You'd think the data as important as that would be carefully recorded.
It was. President Baker gave me an optical disc with all of the test data.
What? Do you still have it?
So I say, in-game, the president is George Sears at this point, in the Metal Gear universe.
The terrorists have replaced the dummy
He'll step down as
with a
president
real
between now and
warhead.
MGS2 because
Once
George
they
Sears
input
is
the
actually
detonation
Solidus,
codes, they should
but
be ready
one thing
to
at a time.
launch.
So you think they can do it?
Well, the dummy warhead was designed to be identical to the real thing, so I think so.
Did you find out how to override it yet?
Not yet. It must be in a separate file. Right now I'm looking through all of Baker's personal files.
We're counting on you.
Oh, doorbell. 1 second, guys. Alright, I'm back. I keep on hesitating. I don't know why, like to press the options button to pause. Like, I keep on feeling like, oh, is it a different button that I have to press? Like, and I can't explain to you why, like my head, like something in my muscle memory is making me hesitant to press options. Like, I'm like, I know when I played Tomb Raider, the options button was the save state menu or like the position menu. Oh, there is someone here. That was sneaky.
Snake.
Did you find it?
No.
What,
I
Otacon?
haven't
This is
found
the
out
fourth
who
time
the
you've
Waifus
called
is
me.
yet, but I found Baker's ulterior motive.
He's just looking to get rich, isn't he?
Well, that's part of it. Armstech is in much worse financial trouble than I thought.
I know they lost their bid to make the next generation fighter jet. That plus the reduction in SDI spending.
It looks like there was even some talk of a hostile takeover.
Everything was riding on this project, I guess.
And it looks like we were paying a lot of bribe money to the DARPA chief.
Bribe money, huh?
Yeah, and Baker was a big proponent of the nuclear deterrent theory.
I see. So anyway, what about the override?
Just give me a little bit longer.
Yeah, can't wait for him to call us a fifth time in a minute. Anyway, more cutscenes. It's okay. After, like, I think it's either this cutscene or the next one, we're going to have a slight pause, because we're going to have to do a bit of backtracking.
Okay, I've entered the PAL codes and disengaged the safety device. We can launch anytime.
There's still no response from Washington. It looks like we'll have to show them that we mean business.
Should I set it for Cherniton, Russia?
No. There's been a change. The new target is Locknor, China.
Why, boss?
I'm sure neither you nor Mr. Golukovich would really like to see a nuclear bomb dropped on your motherland, right?
Liquid. But why?
Also, Golukovich, remember that name?
Wrong.
That's a character that's going to become more prevalent in Metal Gear Solid 2. And if you're someone who started with the later games, you might be having like a moment now, because, especially you started with MGS4, you know what Sonny's last name is, technically? It's Golukovich, because she was
Meanwhile, Washington will be
the granddaughter of the man they're talking about.
China.
That'll probably mean top-secret talks between both countries' leaders.
Of course. And in the process, the president will be forced to divulge the existence of a new and highly destabilizing nuclear weapon to the Chinese. What do you think that will do to the US's reputation? Or the president's?
And with the CTBT, that means that China and India. I see.
Yes. When the other countries hear about this new weapon,
I say that, I'm pretty sure Sonny doesn't go by Golukovich anymore for her last name. I think she took either a Jane Doe last name, or she probably would have taken Raiden's last name, because she does see Raiden as like a father figure, so it would have made sense if she did. But I honestly don't know off the top of my head if she ever did change her last name. Off the top of my head. Or if that's even a thing that's mentioned in MGS4, because it's been so long since I played 4, I can't remember. There's such a small detail.
Killed Octopus in the arms.
Also, yeah, we're learning about Foxdie now, the thing that killed them.
It's true that it affects older people first. Mantis might not have been affected because he wore a mask.
Wolf wasn't infected either. Perhaps due to those tranquilizers she always took.
Something to do with the adrenaline level in the blood. Or maybe it's just because this Foxdie was still experimental and they haven't worked out all the bugs yet.
In any case, have you heard from your friend, Colonel Sergei Golukovich, at the Spetsnaz?
He still has doubts about the ability.
Yeah, you've mentioned it again, don't worry, Sergei is going to be significant in MGS2. And more specifically, his daughter, Olga, will be very, very important in 2.
There's nothing to worry about. The Colonel wants Metal Gear and a new nuclear weapon so bad he can taste it. If Russia wants to regain its position as a military superpower, they need to reinforce their nuclear arsenal. They need a nuclear weapon that can't be intercepted. Metal Gear will allow them to gain first strike capability over the rest of the world.
Their regular army is in shambles, and they think they can restore their country's military power with nuclear weapons? Golukovich, he's no warrior. He's a politician.
Well, he's the one who gave us the Hind and most of our other heavy firepower.
He's got over 1,000 soldiers under his command. If we join forces, We could put up quite a resistance here. Since Mantis died, the Genome Soldier's brainwashing has started to wear off. I'm worried about the men's morale. An alliance with the Russians would boost that as well.
What are you saying?
We're not going anywhere. We're going to dig in here.
We could still escape.
We've got the most powerful weapon ever made, and we're about to ally with Galukovich's forces.
Are you going to fight the whole world?
And what's wrong with that? We can launch a nuclear warhead at any target on this planet. A nuclear warhead invisible to radar. And on top of that, this base is full of spare nuclear warheads. Once we get the DNA and the money, the world will be ours.
What about your promise to Colonel Galukovich?
I have no interest in the revival of Mother Russia.
You're not thinking of reviving Big Boss's dream.
From today, call this place Outer Heaven.
And it does like the ding, because Outer Heaven was Big Boss's dream in the original Metal Gear. And if you're familiar with the franchise at large, and yeah, you might have just had like a oh shit moment if you've never played the original Metal Gear Solid. That yeah, the whole thing with Big Boss has always been a thing.
Does Snake know how the override system works?
Also, this is quite clever. Ocelot knows, because he just spotted us on the camera, he knows we're right outside the door listening in, so he starts speaking louder to make sure we get clued in.
By the way, what should we do with that woman? Want me to kill her?
Let her live. She's Campbell's niece, and Snake cares for her. We'll keep her as our ace in the hole.
Meryl, she's alive.
Snake, I found Baker's top secret files.
Great job.
How's it going there?
They've finished inputting the PAL codes. So how do we deactivate them?
Okay, you see the override system that the President was talking about? It can also be used to input the detonation codes. You see, if you insert the keys when the warhead is active, you deactivate it. And if you insert them when it's inactive, it becomes activated. And you can only use the keys once.
Only once, huh?
Yeah, you better get started. We don't have much time.
But it takes 3 keys, right? I've only got 1 of them.
Hold on a minute. You see, that's the trick. You already have all 3 keys.
What are you talking about?
The card key is made of a shape memory alloy.
Shape memory alloy?
Yes. It's a material that changes shape at different temperatures.
Are you ready for backtracking?
The key is made out of it.
This card key?
Yeah. The card key changes shape at different temperatures.
So this key is actually 3 keys in 1. Clever.
Can you see the input terminals in the center of the control room?
I see them.
Those 3 laptop terminals are for the emergency input. There should be a symbol on each screen. Each symbol corresponds to a different key. Input the keys in order from left to right.
So standard, cold, then hot.
The left one's for the room temperature key. See the symbol? Next to that goes the low temperature key. The one on the right is the high temperature key.
Okay, I got it. First, I change the shape of the card, and then I input them in order, right?
That's right. All you do is insert the card keys. After you insert the key into the module, a hard disk reads the information contained on it. Once you've finished with all 3 terminals, the code input process is complete. But here's the thing. You can only use the key 3 times. It's an emergency system. It's only meant to be used once.
The world is riding on that key, Snake.
Who's that? Damn!
Yeah. And now look, they've had their fun playing along. And there goes the key.
Snake! This
Snake!
is bulletproof glass. There's no way in. I'll enjoy watching you die.
Well, shit.
Snake, you've got to get that key.
This bit's dumb. It's like, why? Oh, but it's also worth mentioning, this section is slightly different depending on how well you've been playing. If you've been playing really poorly, they make this section a little easier. Hey. but I don't know if I did well enough to cross that threshold. If you played poorly, it's in the water. If you played well, a rat ate it. So you gotta find the rat and kill it. So when we get down here, the first thing I'm going to do is check the rat holes. Just, and if they have, well, I've got one more claymore. I've got 2 claymores, so yeah, we'll be good. We need to get down to the bottom level first. Now let's find out, did a rat eat it? Just in case I'm right, I'm going to put a claymore, like, right there. So if it pokes its head out, it's fucking mine. Oh, I've got the water's poisonous. Because it can also come out of this hole, but... thermals. Bomb? Get the fuck out of here. Hey, there's the Palki. Okay, that unfortunately also means I haven't been playing as well as I can. Because like I said, the rat eats it, but only if you've been playing well. So that's the game's way of saying I haven't been playing well enough. Anyway, we need to go back up and use the fucking key. Because Liquid and Ocelot would have left by the time you go back up there. And then we have to go freeze it, bring it back, use it, and then we have to go burn it, bring it back, use it. Which is why I'm saying, like, it's kind of dumb. But we have the level 7 key, so we're going to go outside, and there's a level 7 door we didn't interact with, so we'll touch that. If that has the camera, I honestly don't know where any more ghosts are. Like, the only one I know of is in, like, the bathroom. That we keep on killing that one dude. Oh, if you get spotted by the cameras in here, they will lock you in and gas you out. So make sure you actually do, like, drop a chaff before you enter, just to be safe. There's one.
PAL code number 1 confirmed. Awaiting PAL code number 2.
Okay.
We're coming to boss rush vids because you game make. Oh, fair enough. Alright, now we need to go freeze it.
Now, pal number 2. Freeze the key.
I'm not taking any risks, I'm just going to throw a chaff. No, no!
Key's wrong?
Snake, I didn't press anything, I just got too close to it. I don't need a whole cutscene of this, you're wasting my chaff. You fuck. Mortal Shell's not my new favorite game. I haven't played Mortal Shell. I know it's another Souls-like. I think it was like I don't want to say completely indie, but like indie enough Souls-like. Like it seemed like it was a very small team if it wasn't indie. It's really good. I'm glad. Good alt soundtrack. In what sense? Because alt could mean a lot of things. As in, like, I know, like, it's not alternative, but like alternative how is what I mean. Also, yeah, and what we're doing right now, in my humble opinion, is the weakest part of the game. I think a lot of people think it's kind of weak. It's just because you've got to do a lot of backtracking, and it's just like, okay, we're literally here. We're at the end of the game. Why do we have to do backtracking now? Oh, Jesus, fair enough. It also means we've got to navigate the fucking camera Mageddon room, so, Ow, ow, ow. Please. Did you hear how many saw me? Do you see alternatives to base game? Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I'll freeze the key in here. I was going to go all the way back outside, but we can freeze the key in here. It's fine. It reduces the amount of backtracking I have to do then. I think the only thing in that level 7 door might honestly be the camera, but at this point it doesn't matter because if you beat the game you get a camera for New Game Plus anyway. We just got to stay in here for a bit until hell freezes over. I'm just getting married in July in Hawaii. Oh damn! Oh yeah, congrats to her then. It's great news. Don't worry guys, I'm very happy to announce, I'm not happy at all, I fucking hate it, that in July I will probably still be single. It's alright ladies, don't all flock at once, it's alright, I know. Is this key frozen yet? Yeah, there we go. Which isn't a lot. Oh, fair. I say that, the friend I went and helped out on Monday, she was making jokes at me, like, all the way through it. I was like, bitch, I'm helping you move, why? I was like, I'm helping you move, and all she was doing is just like, oh, you could have been, you know, no one in your life, Rob, you know, fucking see how it is, and, 25 now, you're getting old, you're missing your chance. And I was just like, yeah, shut up, bitch. Lovingly. For the record, like me and my close friends, we call each other bitch all the time, so we don't take that as me, like, being mean. Like, we lovingly call each other bitch all the time. She's making a pass? No, she's taking the piss. I've known her long enough to know the difference, trust me. She's taking the piss. She's just like, oh yeah, look at you, lover boy, still single, still no one, huh? You're fucking 25, or you're getting on, no, you're gonna miss your chance. I was like, yeah, shut the fuck up. You little bitch. I've known her for years. She's just taking the piss. I know her humour. Oh, another cutscene? Never mind, it was loading. Honestly, and it's gonna sound like such a no shit thing to say, and such like a, and maybe like a little like feminist dude like speaking up, but I can't stress enough, it's literally as simple as just treat them like human fucking beings. Treat them no different to how you treat your male friends. Just be yourself. Don't look at them as like, oh, they're a woman, I have to be different. Just be you, and I guarantee you a number of them will be your friend. It's that simple. And it isn't as well, but me, I don't like this part of me. That's on you. You know? Or this part's a bit hard for people. It's like, yeah, you're still always going to get that. I know that's like a complete nonsense, but it's genuinely the truth. I've never not just been me. And without meaning to like humble brag, I do just fine. You know, in that sense. I don't have a girlfriend, but I have a very healthy number of friends that I like admire and endear to and would give everything for, and I wouldn't give it a second thought, you know? And I just carry on being like the dork nerd. That said, I have one friend at work. She is 5 years younger than me, and so like most staff that are 5 years younger than me, because there is a number of them that are like of a batch that are a few years younger than me. Sometimes I make jokes that she doesn't get because I'm just that little bit older that it's something that was part of my childhood that she straight up wasn't either alive for or old enough to even remotely recall it. But every now and then, I make another joke, and she looks at me and grins, and I'm like, I got ya! I got ya! There's a joke we both get! I got ya! Like, her favourite one is, we make, both of us, between us, we make, the moment she realised that I'm making SpongeBob jokes all the fucking time, because I do. SpongeBob jokes come at me too naturally. She got them all. And so it's like every now and then it's like, oh, this thing isn't scanning, or like, oh, this thing, and it like starts with like an MA, and I just go ma, and she just starts cackling. Or when I turned 25, she sent me a text, and the text just said, "Do you want to know what's funnier than 24?" And I was just like, shut up. Comfy to me. That's fair enough. There's enemies down here now? What the fuck? Hey! What are you... Where's my armor? I completely forgot there are baddies down here. Imagine being a soldier and it's like, hey, your job is to guard the freezer from the inside. You'd be like, what the... Do you fucking hate me? You know? You'd be like, what the fuck do you mean? He doesn't deal with, I cannot hang with people for a mile a minute, man. That's fair. I get that. I sometimes get a little overwhelmed. But I usually, when I'm at that point, I will, like, thankfully I'm at that point with a lot of my friends, that if they do go a bit much for me, if I just like, oh, hang on a minute, I'm losing track here, they will, not like sarcastically or insultingly, but they will genuinely either reword or just slow it down a little bit to help me keep on top of it. And I say that, if it's something I'm interested in, I'm the loudest talker in the room. If you get me started on a topic I love about, I won't shut the fuck up about it.
Snake, it's about Naomi Hunter.
What now?
To the Colonel. He's looking into it.
Turn your monitor off.
Okay, it's off. No one else can hear us. Go ahead.
Sorry, but I didn't want the Colonel to hear.
Okay, so what's up?
I've got a good friend in the Pentagon.
Yeah?
He's the one who told me about it. It looks like the DIA recently developed a new type of assassination weapon.
The thing is, I get not liking small talk in that sense.
Snake.
But equally, like, I get it because it allows you to kind of, like, softly test, if that makes sense.
Liquid and the others were talking about
I know that sounds like weird, but like stick with me. It's like when you're talking to people and getting to know them, when people are making small talk, it's the topics they lean on for their small talk will give you a vague idea, not only of like what's on their mind and what they think about, but also what they think they might be able to talk with you about. Like it's literally like a really soft, harmless, like tiny way of almost like boundary testing, but obviously like boundary testing makes it sound way more like aggressive than it is. Also, we're learning about Fox Die in the game. We're learning about Fox Die is this virus that silently assassinates people. And Master Miller's like, hey, I think Naomi gave you that, and that's why the DARPA chief died when you met him. Why Baker died when you met him, because it's in you, and it's like silently assassinating people. Because it's Fox Die is hard coded to only target specific people.
Okay, I'll ask him myself. Colonel, what's new with the Naomi situation?
I just placed Naomi under arrest.
Arrest?
Oh, damn.
She's sending coded messages towards the Alaskan base. I didn't want to believe it, but she must be working with the terrorists.
Are you sure?
I'm afraid so. She's being interrogated now.
What kind of interrogation?
Well, I'd like to
We're
avoid
all
the
running
rough
those
stuff,
boundaries.
but we don't even have any sodium pentothal here.
But that's why it's like you have the small talk, because you keep it low key. You don't go anything specific. You don't go into anything big. You don't start like going on about like some big topic or something that you super care about. You just keep it light, and you can use that as an opportunity. It makes it sound like a mission, but it's not like that. It's something that eventually become more natural to you as like the more you try it. It just gives you an idea, like a very basic idea of what kind of person you're talking to, and it also gives it to them. While at the same time not, fucking scaring each other off, because I suddenly start turning around and saying, so here's the story of Metal Gear, or like the first time I've spoken to someone, Or like, what do you think of today's political climate? That's not fucking small talk, that's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, what the hell, what are you on about? Oh, sorry, one second, my headset's getting all staticky, one sec. There we go. Something of merit to say on it. And that's, like, that can be fair enough, that's just your own. I'm just saying, like, if you are trying to get to know someone, keeping it small to just kind of do a little poke, that's all it has to be. Trying to go in and like okay, I only want to say something that's important will always just make you seem just quiet and or antisocial. And if you are, that's fine. But if someone says, oh, you're right, you can at least go, yeah, I'm doing good. Even, like, that's all it has to be sometimes. Or, oh, weather's good. Yeah, it is. It's doing all right. Nice and warm. Or, oh, it's bad. Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, weather's cold outside. Yeah, fucking too right. Like, just little things. I know it's easy said, hard done, but you know what I mean. It's a problem of mine. It's not even... Oh, fair. Ow, fuck. Okay, okay. This is your hot room, by the way. I'm gonna hide in here. You can, like, go right down near the lava, but I'd rather just vibe in here. Otherwise, I'm overthinking. At least in my humble opinion, that's how it seems. You don't need to, like, worry about the detail. Just chat. Doesn't matter if you're chatting shit, well, as long as you're not, like, insulting them. Or, like, saying stuff that might make them think you're a psychopath. But yeah, it was just small talk. Oh yeah, how's the weather today? Oh, it's really nice. Oh, did you see, like, there's a new Jack the Ripper in town? What the fuck? It's just a microwave oven. Oh god, yeah, can't wait for that in like MGS4. I was going to say when I get to MGS4, but that would require MGS4 to be on something other than just the PS3. Are we cooking it yet? Oh, that awkward. In Twin Snakes, they firstly, yeah, there we go. They make it quicker to make the key go, and they also play a sound effect so you know when it's changed. Like, I think they played a sound effect of you picking up an item, so you go, oh, something's just changed, and then you spot it. Alright. Even though, like, I think you're fine, this part ahead always makes me a smidge nervous, because you have to run back through the cold and hope that the key stays hot enough. So I always, like, I don't think it matters too much, but I always, like, hard book it, because I'm like, I'm the zone. About the signs for self-control reasons. But to go back to like the topic, this whole conversation started because I jokingly said, and like joked about not having a girlfriend, and yeah, that is something that's been on my mind again recently. It's like maybe at some point soon I need to try and get back into the dating scene properly instead of doing this whole I'm gonna just live my life and the right person might just walk in front of my path. Like, I've been sitting on that hopium for like 7 years. I need to just accept it's not happening. You know? I just need to accept that shit ain't happening. I mean, yeah, if I was talking to someone and that person either kept the conversation horrendously brief the whole time or just would suddenly fall silent, I would assume they're not interested either. But just keeping up the small talk, even if it doesn't necessarily mean it will go any further, it doesn't have to. It can be enough to just think,
Snake, can you hear me? It's Naomi.
Naomi?
Naomi!
Campbell and the others are busy right now. I'm on a different codec.
Naomi. Is what the Colonel says true?
Yes. But not everything I said was a lie.
Who are you?
I don't know myself. I don't know my real
Sad
name
music.
or even what my parents looked like. I bought all my identification. But my reason for getting into genetics was true.
'Cause you want to know yourself, right?
That's right. I want to know where I came from. My age, my race, anything.
Naomi.
I was found in Rhodesia.
This poor girl doesn't even know how old she is. She knows so little of her background. Like, bruh.
Rhodesia? What's now known as Zimbabwe?
Yes. Rhodesia was owned by England until 1965, and there were lots of Indian laborers around. That's probably where I got my skin color from, but I'm not even sure about that.
Naomi, you're too worried about the past. Isn't it enough to understand who you are now?
Understand who I am now? Why should I? No one else tries to understand me. I was alone for so long, until I met my big brother, and him.
He's referring to Big Boss.
Brother.
Big Brother is Frank Yeager.
Frank
Him
Yeager.
being Big Boss.
What?
He was a young soldier.
His big, yeah.
When he picked me up.
Her brother was Grey
I
Fox.
was dead from starvation, and he shared his rations with me.
Oh, here
Yes,
comes that Pete music again.
Frank Yeager. The man who you destroyed was my brother and my only family.
No. Gray Fox?
We survived that hell together, Frank and I. He protected me. He's my one connection. The only connection I have to my past.
And he brought you back to America.
No. I was in Mozambique when he came.
Who is he? You mean Big Boss?
Yes. He brought us to this land of freedom. This America. And then he and my brother went back to Africa to continue the war. And that's when it happened.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And sent my brother
But
home.
what Snake was trying to tell Naomi, like, although like to an extent it could be argued slightly hypocritical, what he's trying to say is that you shouldn't be letting it control your life. Like, don't worry about me. You're letting your past control your life instead of looking at what's in front of you.
I waited too
Like
long
Snake's doing the whole "do as I say, not as I do" thing. They said try and do what's best for you.
Yes.
Which could be argued to be from a perspective of someone who maybe feels he's too far gone in it. That he is too controlled by his past, which to be fair, he kind of is because of all the bullshit with being a clone of Big Boss. But then that just suits the whole theme of Metal Gear Solid 1. The entire central theming of genetics and how they don't define you.
Wrong about you.
What about Liquid and the others?
I'll have my revenge on them too.
Naomi, you didn't kill that doctor too, did you? The one that used Grey Fox for his genome experiments?
Dr. Clark? No. That was my brother.
Frank Yeager killed paramedic because Dr. Clark, like I said, Dr. Clark, they retconned it that it wasn't a he, it was a she in MGS3. And the paramedic was Dr. Clark.
I think he just came here to fight you. I wasn't sure before, but now I think I understand.
Also applies meme. Metal Gear Solid 1, by definition, even by the director himself, its central theme is your genetics. When he talks about memes in Metal Gear Solid, he doesn't mean it in the internet way. He means as in genetic memory, or world memory, or culture memory. He means it as in like the memory of everything beyond our understanding. That is just a part of us whether we like it or not.
They're programmed to respond to specific genetic patterns in the cells.
Like, so yeah, it is an application of it, but it's not the focus. Like, even remotely. It's a very, very tiny piece of the puzzle that wasn't... I don't even think was really something that could be put to words in MGS1. It's only retroactively, I fear.
It's a type of cytokine.
Like, to just kind of clarify my point. Like, I think, like, it's not really a thing in this game. It's only retroactively because of what the later games bring to the table about the topic.
And then they cause a heart attack?
The heart cells suffer a shock and undergo an extreme apoptosis. Then, the victim dies.
Apoptosis? You mean the heart cells?
So you probably mean by more technical version. I mean, yeah, I suppose.
Naomi.
What?
You must have programmed that thing to kill me
Content.
too.
It's neat to think about.
Do I still have time? Naomi, I don't blame you for wanting me dead, but I can't go yet. I still have a job to do.
Listen, Snake. I'm not the one who made the decision to use Fox Dye.
Huh? You weren't?
No. You were injected with Fox Dye as a part of this operation. I just wanted to let you know that. No, that's not the whole truth.
What Naomi's telling us here is that it was always designed that they wanted Snake to die in this operation.
What I wanted to tell you was... Snake,
Hey, what are you doing?
Snake!
Naomi!
Snake, I can't allow Naomi to make any more unauthorized transmissions.
What?
Naomi's been removed from this operation.
What happened to Naomi? What did she mean when she said that Fox Dye was a part of this operation? Colonel, let me talk to her.
I won't. She's under arrest.
Colonel.
Well, I say even the whole franchise to different extents.
There's no time for that.
Even Rising leaves room for discussion. Even MGS5, despite the fact it barely fucking talks, leaves room for discussion. You know, I said it barely fucking talks, and then you get... Okay, it's all good. You get to, like, the Skullface car ride, and he talks to your face for 10 minutes straight, and you're just like, alright. But I know what you mean. Peace Walker? Peace Walker has a lot to say. What are you on about? Acid maybe not, but Peace Walker absolutely has a lot to say. Okay, we made it. Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure we got through that room unscathed. Is our thing still warm? Good. No, nothing out of it. Peace Walker is about the different interpretations people can take of one person's message and the will to do whatever it takes to reduce the price of war. And what extent people will go to do it. And what understanding people will have even when it's done. And the fact that the Peace Walker itself literally kills itself to stop war at the end of the game is the giant wrench that reevaluates the entire discussion that game brings to the table. Because what would a machine know? And yet it decided to kill itself to stop a nuclear catastrophe. And that's my favourite part of it, is that you reach the end and you go, what would a machine know? Why did it decide to make that decision? As in Acid, you could argue elsewhere, because Acid is more focused on, is Snake really Snake? And all that bullshit. Like, because of, you know, like genetic bullshit and whatever that game's trying to do. And to be fair, MGS5 is kind of an extension of what Peace Walker's trying to do. It's just a bit more blunt about what it's talking about. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you need it to be a bit more like in your face and just say like, yeah, what do you fucking think? But I said my issue with MGS5 is just that it's way too long. It's way too long with way too little actual telling the story. So it's just way too much like just shit in between. It always felt like Kojima overcorrected. Like people always made the jokes that Metal Gear Solid games were like 70% films and 30% game. And so he overcorrected and made MGS5 like 95% game. But it's also like the longest Metal Gear, so it's just like, please, a little bit of fucking story to explain why I'm running across the whole of fucking Africa again. Also, plot twist time.
Thank you, Snake.
We didn't deactivate Metal Gear, we activated it.
Is completed. Nothing can stop.
I mean, there was a lot of other shit that affected MGS5. I'm not going to put it all on Kojima. A lot of it was on Konami. They didn't like that Kojima went over budget and refused to budge on any of their instructions for Kojima to do it, which led to a lot of tensions and infighting, which then, like any time there's infighting involving development, affected the game itself. And then obviously they had their extremely public fallout after, just around the time MGS5 was coming out.
Then Ocelot accidentally
I just personally think MGS5 shouldn't have been an open world game.
In other words,
I would have rather it have been a really fucking phenomenal, focused, linear stealth game like every other mainline lumbered MGS.
What do you mean?
And my reasoning for backing this up is that they could have made them like pseudo-open, but they were focused to the level. And a good example of this is Ground Zeroes. Ground Zeroes, you're still in like one focused small location, but you have so many options. The whole game should have been like that. The whole game should have been like that, where it's not open world, but the levels themselves are big, but have options and there's things to do, but they're still just a concentrated level.
You mean you had this plan from the beginning?
Also, yeah, we've been duped and deceived. The code we did was actually to activate it, and Master Miller's been stringing us along the whole time.
Who the hell are you? In any case, the launch preparations are complete. Once the world glimpses the power of this weapon, the White House will have no choice but to surrender the Fox-Die vaccine. To me, their ace in the hole is useless now.
Ace in the hole?
The Pentagon's plan to use you was
yeah, the Pentagon's ultimate scheme was to give Snake the virus that will kill it and kill all the members of Foxhound, send him in, and just by him interacting with everyone, he would poison all of Foxhound and kill them all.
I'll tell you everything you want to know.
What Naomi did, however, which is what she was she was started to talk about, but she got cut off, is she altered the code.
Snake, that's not Master Miller.
Yeah, we figured it out now, Colonel.
Too late.
Master Miller's been dead before this game even started.
He's been dead for at least 3 days.
Master Miller died about 3 days before this game even started.
But Mei Ling said his transmission signal was coming from inside the base.
But Naomi changed the coding of the Fox-Die in an act of revenge. He made it so the Fox-Die virus would eventually take Snake as well. Also, that's how he hid his disguise. He tied his hair back and put on sunglasses. You've been talking to Liquid the whole time.
Purpose. You may die
Snake,
now.
did you like my sunglasses? And he's going to try and gas us out. So put on your gas mask. Otacon, please help!
Snake, that's bulletproof glass. You can't break it with an ordinary weapon.
Can't you open the security lock here?
I'll try. Just hold on for a minute.
Oh, but, oh, I wish I had more rations. Ugh. I probably should have tried to pick up some. Once we leave, we're starting the final rush of the game.
I hacked into security.
It's literally, as soon as we leave, it's boss fight, into the escape sequence, into the credits. Which is why I kind of wish I had more health, because we're gonna fucking need it. Do-do-do-ding! Alright, here goes nothing. How do you feel about a new Corpse Party game? I didn't realize there was a new Corpse Party game coming, and I'm sure it will be fine. I mean, I should really take more interest. Actually, I'm going to save before we proceed. Considering, like, you know, I think that's the one that's the same writers as Death and Request, and I love those games, but I've just never taken any interest.
Don't die, Snake.
I mean, I'll try my best, Mei-Ling. Jesus. Alright, here goes nothing.
Liquid!
Really?
Snake!
Here it is.
Did you like my sunglasses?
Did you like my sunglasses? It's like, alright, you...
Weapon at your own brother?
Why did you...
Snake should have just shot him there. I don't know why Snake holds off and decides to, like, debate with him. They'll just fucking shoot him.
Although the boys at the Pentagon are probably saying the same thing.
What the hell are you talking about?
Following orders blindly with no questions asked, you've lost your warrior's pride and become nothing more than a pawn, Snake.
What?
Stopping the nuclear launch, rescuing the hostages, it was all just a diversion.
A diversion?
Oh, just as a heads up for this boss fight, I hope you learned how to play fucking tic-tac-toe with your inventory, because you're going to be bringing up your inventory screen, both of them, a lot.
That's right. You were sent here to kill us so they could retrieve Metal Gear undamaged.
I know, yes, this is the big conspiracy of things like this. The Pentagon just wanted the Metal Gear. They wanted us to go in, kill everyone, one way or another, hence the infection, or the virus that was put in us. In the hopes that then, when everyone's dead, the US government could just come in and swoop their silent nuclear missile launcher.
What? We've got a spy working in the Pentagon. He reported that Dr. Hunter altered Fox Dye's program just before the operation, but no one knows how. Why?
I wonder... Maybe they arrested her so they could find out the answer to that.
No doubt. But I had no idea she was motivated by such petty revenge. We still don't know what changes she made to Fox Dye's program. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I've already added the Fox Dye vaccine to my list of White House demands.
There's a vaccine?
There must be, but that woman is the only one...
Yeah, if you artificially design a virus, you'd like to think they'd have a vaccine just in case. But then that's what Liquid's banking off, but God knows if it actually does.
You were successful in coming into contact with all of us, so we must have all been exposed to the virus. It's true that the Armstech President and Decoy Octopus were killed by Fox Dye, but Ocelot, myself, and you, the carrier, were apparently unaffected.
A bug in the virus's programming?
Could be. In any case, if it doesn't kill you, then I'm not worried either. After all,
Oh yeah, that's a little Fred. He mentioned, he said it didn't affect us. It also didn't affect Ocelot.
You and I are...
Yes, twins. But we're not all...
The US government putting in a virus that specifically doesn't kill Ocelot? Gee, I wonder if there's a connection.
You're fine. You got all the old man's dominant...
Oh, and here's the whole genetic theming getting put on full display. Liquid's hatred for us is because when they cloned Big Boss, they gave him all the recessive genes and gave us all the dominant genes. And Liquid, for some reason, doesn't understand how genetics fucking works, because it's not that simple, you fucking idiot.
I'm just the leftovers of
Recessive just means... recessive doesn't mean it's bad. Recessive just means the dominant ones will win if they both go at the same time.
But I'm the one
father changed.
You just have different genetics. That's all that means. That doesn't mean you're the weak one.
What kind of love?
Love? It's hate! He always told me I was inferior, and now I'll have my revenge! You should understand me, brother. You killed our father with your own hands! You stole my chance for
This
revenge.
like him talking about like him being the inferior one reminds me of my favorite goddamn joke from Let's Defeat the Fox Unit, which is a YouTube sketch video from years ago, where he just goes, Snake, like talking to Big Boss, I think you'd make a great dad someday. And it does like the flat, like the diddle diddle diddle, where he starts imagining, and it just goes, Dad, guess what? I just learned my 5th language today. That's great, son. You make your father proud. And then Liquid shows up and goes, Father, I just learnt my 7th language today. And the Big Boss just turns around and goes, Get out.
The power of the weapon that will lead us in the 21st century.
It's moving.
So I hope you're ready for the big event. It's time to fight Metal Gear. Man versus Metal Gear Rex. I love this little build-up scene. Like, all the atmosphere and all the panning shots. It's like, hey, you're gonna fight this fucking thing. Good luck. Come on. I'm gonna back the fuck up whilst it's still waking up. Where the fuck's my body armor? There it is. But yeah, if you have the but you see that? You see how like Rex missed his homing missiles by like a mile? That's why you throw out the chaff grenades every now and then. As I said, that's why you're gonna play tic-tac-toe with your inventory a bunch, because you're gonna be alternating a lot. It's the one thing that I kind of wish we had from MGS2. MGS2 allows you to hot swap between 2. And it would have made life a lot easier in this section. Damn it. I got cocky. It's fine, we can just push. We can just push for it to end. There we go. Alright, end of phase 1. Because yes, we are going to have multiple phases of this thing. Also, this is all in one checkpoint, so if you die after all these cutscenes when phase 2 starts, you got to do phase 1 again. So be wary of that.
Nice try, Snake! Die!
Grey Fox!
Hurry! Get away! Great Fox. The name from long ago. It sounds better than Deep Throat.
Yeah, no shit! It sounds better than Deep Throat.
Trouble, Snake. You haven't aged well.
I'll send you back to hell!
All this that's about to happen is actually pretty cool. And one of my favourite lines of dialogue in the whole series is coming up. One of my favourite quotes. It's not for like a minute yet, because they got to chat for a while, but we'll get there.
I am a prisoner of death. Only you can free me.
Fox, stay out of this. What about Naomi? She's hell-bent on taking revenge for you.
Naomi.
You're the only one who can stop her.
No, I can't.
Why?
Because I'm the one who killed her parents. I was young then, and couldn't bring myself to kill her too. I felt so bad that I decided to take her with me. I raised her like she was my own blood, to soothe my guilty conscience. Even now, she thinks of me as her brother.
Fox.
From the outside, we might have seemed like a happy brother and sister, but every time I looked at her, I saw her parents' eyes staring back at me. Tell her for me. Tell her that I was the one who did it.
There you are!
We're just about out of time. Here's a final present from Deep Throat. I'll stop it from moving. Fox!
In the Middle East, we don't hunt foxes, we hunt jackals. Instead of foxhounds, we use royal harriers.
Fox.
How strong is that exoskeleton of yours? Snake, are you just going to sit by and watch him die?
Cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal.
Destroyed the radome.
By completely destroying the radome, Liquid can't see, so he has to open the cockpit to see. So now we can kill him.
Now you're finished!
No! Fire the stinger!
Fox, can you really shoot? You'll kill him too!
This is scripted, you can't. It won't let you. If you try to...
I can't do it.
Snake will go, no good, I can't do it! So you just gotta wait this out.
Neither truly alive, nor truly dead.
It's an interactive cutscene. They were doing interactive cutscenes in 1998, for God's sake.
But soon it will finally end.
Oh, here comes the line I was talking about. This.
Government or anyone else. Fighting was the only thing I was good at. But at least I always fought for what I believed in. Snake, farewell.
Foolish man. He prayed for death, and it found him. You see, you can't protect anyone, not even yourself. Die!
Phase 2. You see how the second the chaff ended, the missile started swerving again. I didn't really want to trade there, but it is what it is. Oh, bitch. Dun, dun, dun. Oh no, you're shooting missiles, I'm gonna back up. Oh, he's so close. They're gonna start homing. So I got no way to see if I can get him. Right. We're done. Oh, trophy unlocked versus Metal Gear Rex.
I'll crush you into dust.
We still got one more boss fight to go yet, and we've also got a lot of talking. So get your popcorn. I'm gonna put my controller down already. We got a lot of talking before this final boss comes up.
Sleeping late as usual. A snake.
Liquid, you're still alive.
I won't die as long as you still live.
Too bad. It looks like your revolution was a failure.
Just because you've destroyed Metal Gear doesn't mean I am done fighting.
Fighting? What are you really after?
A world where warriors like us...
You can spin the camera during this, so I was trying to keep the camera on him, but then it auto-fixed to him.
That was Big Boss's fantasy.
It was his dying wish.
Because I can be like, whoa, what's over here? What's over there? What's down here? What's up there? The darkness is up there, apparently.
We were valued then. We were desired. But things... Oh.
Sorry, doorbell, 1 minute.
Different now. With all the liars and hypocrites running the world, war isn't what
I could have just let the cutscene run whilst I was going, to be honest. I knew I'd been back in a second, but oh well.
A world that no longer needs us. A world that now spurns our very existence.
Okay, Liquid simmer down now, that's the virtual line.
As well as I do.
But now die. Was that from earlier? I must have missed it. I only just looked at chat now, I sat back down.
We'll be able to bring chaos and honor back to this world gone soft. Conflict will breed conflict. New hatreds will arise. Then we'll steadily expand our sphere of influence.
But as long as there are
Actually, I might as well take the opportunity to reset the live chat just in case.
For the new,
oh, the doorbell just went again. You know, I am going to leave this running. 1 second.
Isn't it reason enough for warriors such as us?
I don't want that kind of world.
Ha! You lie. So why are you here then? Why do you continue to follow your orders while your superiors betray you? Why did you come here? Well, I'll tell you then. You enjoy the killing. That's why.
What?
Are you denying it? Haven't you already killed most of my comrades?
That was...
I watched your face when you did it. It was filled with the joy of battle.
You're wrong.
There's a killer inside you. You don't have to deny it.
We were created to be that way.
Created?
Les enfants terribles. The terrible children. That's what the project was called.
I'm back, by the way.
Started in the 1970s.
It was a mailman again. He wanted me to take a parcel for next door.
Soldier possible. The person that they chose as the model.
Sorry, Liquid. You can't see my face. My face is only pixels and shapes. Oh yeah, Les Enfants Terribles, or the Terrible Children, were the clones of Big Boss.
Already in a coma when they brought him in.
But here's the thing, they made, in this game they established, they made like a bunch of clones. Like it wasn't just these two and obviously Solidus later on. They made a shit ton of clones. But what's crazy is that they kind of like stopped bringing this up. It said they made 8. They kind of stopped bringing up that they made 8 like as soon as this game's like out. Because otherwise the whole Big Mama thing in 4, it's not that it doesn't make sense, because yeah, maybe she did have octuplets. But that's also... I struggle to believe she had octuplets and didn't suffer for it. Her having twins and then another kid later on, sure, whatever.
So it was you and I, 2 fertilized eggs with exactly the same DNA. But they weren't finished yet. They used me as a guinea pig to create a phenotype in which all of the dominant genes were expressed.
Oh, he's going about his genes again.
To create you.
Yeah, your denims look fine, dude.
Genes. You took everything from me before I was even born.
And also, once again, Liquid is showing off that he doesn't understand how genetics work. Just because one's called dominant, one's mean recessive, does not fucking mean one good, one bad, you fucking idiot. It doesn't mean you've got all the bad genes, alright? It just means you got the ones that aren't as defined as the definitive. Or the dominant, sorry. It's just that Solid had the genes that won, and you had the genes that lost. It doesn't mean they're good and bad. It just means the dominant genes, you know, are dominant. They win over the recessive. If there isn't a dominant, both the recessives would win. I say that, it's usually a bit more complicated than that, but you get what I mean. Look at you wearing levies. We all know it is the superior genes are wranglers.
The genome soldiers that you've been killing are our brothers, with the same genes as ours.
Also, that doesn't make much sense either, Liquid. Just because you took a blood sample and put it in a bunch of soldiers does not mean they're my fucking siblings.
Created artificially through the alignment.
Well, I know it's a bit more complicated than that in itself, but still, their genes are designed to mimic Big Bosses, but they're not the same. So they're not like, just because you try to make someone look like them doesn't suddenly mean that he's clearly coping with inferiority complex. I know what, there's still one big fucking plot twist surrounding Liquid that we've yet to even get to, because they don't drop it to you until after the fucking credits roll. That will make all of this theme even stupider for Liquid. Like when we get to it, you'll see what I mean. It ends up making it look even stupider.
Was a side effect of it.
Ha! Everyone knows that the Gulf War syndrome was caused by exposure to depleted uranium used in the anti-tank rounds.
That was just a cover story issued by the Pentagon. First they tried to say it was post-traumatic stress disorder, then chemical or biological.
Also, I hope you're enjoying your documentary footage.
The poison gas detection units and the anti-sarin injections, they were all just a cover-up of the
I genuinely wish they kept this throughout the whole franchise, but as the franchise goes on, they start leaning further and further away from the documentary footage. But I felt like it just added an extra layer to everything when they had this footage in between. It made everything that the story's talking about, even when it's ridiculous, sound more believable because you're watching the raw fucking footage, you know?
They're a complete failure. We are on the verge of extinction.
What?
Have you ever heard of the asymmetry theory? Nature tends
Also, I told you he's gonna be yapping for a while. That's why I didn't mind the second time I went down, just leaving it going.
Show signs of symmetry. The genome soldiers suffer from the same problem. Signs of symmetry. So do I. As do you. That's right. We are all on the verge of death at the genetic level. We don't know when or what type of disease will occur. That's why we need the old man's genetic information.
You want Big Boss's DNA so you can save your family? It's very touching.
In nature, family members don't mate with each other, and yet they help each other to survive. Do you know why? It increases
because we're not incestuous. Oh no, you're talking about something else, huh? Right, okay.
Altruism among blood relatives is a response to natural selection. It's called the selfish gene theory.
You're telling me that your genes are ordering you to save the genome soldiers?
You can't fight your genes. It's fate. All living things
Hey, do you think this game has a central theme about genetics or something? And all he's fucking talked about for the past 10 minutes is denims.
Genes tell me. And then I'm going to go beyond. In order to break the curse of my heritage.
So this game has a constant push that genetics do not define you, and Liquid is the antithesis of it because he believes his genetics only define him. He thinks his genetics are the reason for everything that's happened in his life, and he refuses to look elsewhere. He's so locked onto it.
Look behind you.
Meryl!
Is she alive?
I'm not sure. She was alive a few hours ago. Poor girl kept calling your name.
Meryl.
Stupid woman. Falling in love with a man who doesn't even have a name.
I have a name.
No! We have no past, no future, and even if we did, it wouldn't be truly ours. You and I are just copies of our father, Big Boss.
Let Meryl go.
Oh, that whole thing of, like, people without names.
We're almost out of time.
That actually does... You noticed it a little there. It actually bothers Snake that people don't know his real name. Because of the agency and everything like that. There are so many people that genuinely just... that he cares for that don't know who he is. And it genuinely gets to him a little bit. He wishes more people just knew who he was. And you're going to see that in the ending. There's going to be a little moment where he takes a moment to almost correct that because it bugs him.
I'm listening.
What is the Pentagon trying to do? Colonel, answer me.
The Secretary of Defense has taken over active control of this operation. He's on his way there by AWACS.
What for?
To bomb the place.
What?
Not only that, B-2 bombers just lifted off from Galena Air Force Base. They're carrying B-6113 surface-piercing tactical nuclear bombs.
What? Metal Gear is destroyed. Tell the Secretary of Defense.
The Secretary of Defense heard that Naomi double-crossed us, and he's worried about Foxdie. Now that there's no more danger of a nuclear strike from Metal Gear, he's going to do whatever's necessary to cover up the truth of what really happened here.
He's going to drop a nuclear bomb to vaporize all the evidence along with anyone who knows anything.
Don't worry, Snake. I'll stop the nuclear strike.
How?
I may only be a figurehead here, but I'm still officially in command of this mission. If I issue an order to delay the strike, it'll confuse the chain of command and at least buy you some time. It'll give you a chance to escape.
But, Colonel, if you do that...
It's okay, Snake. The truth is, Foxhound was already the subject of an undercover investigation. Meryl was transferred to this base just before the terrorist attack as a way of manipulating me.
Those bastards.
I'm sorry. They forced me to cooperate in exchange for her life. You better get out of there, Snake.
Are you sure? It'll be bad for you.
Don't worry. It's the least I can do for you, after all the lies.
Colonel.
I'm ordering them to cancel the bombing run. After that, there's no turning back. What? What are you doing? What?
Snake!
Mei Ling, what happened to the Colonel?
I don't believe it.
What happened?
Snake, the Colonel!
Roy Campbell has been relieved of duty. This is the Secretary of Defense, Jim Houseman.
Put the Colonel back on.
He's been placed under arrest for leaking top-secret information and for the crime of high treason.
Ridiculous.
Yes, he's a ridiculous man. He truly believed that he was in command of this operation.
You bastard.
There won't be a speck of evidence left. I'm sure the President would want the same thing.
The President ordered this?
The President is a busy man.
So he didn't order this.
I have complete authority.
The President has no idea what he's doing here.
Plan on explaining a nuclear attack on Alaska to the media.
Don't worry. We've prepared a convincing cover story. We'll simply say that the terrorists exploded a nuclear device.
Smart.
You'll be murdering everyone here. The scientists, the genome army, everyone.
Donald, the DARPA chief is already dead.
So, you didn't mean to kill the DARPA chief after all.
He was my friend.
And you could care less about what happens to everybody else, huh?
Well, if you give me the optic disc, I might consider...
I feel like Jim's the actual traitor here. I mean, yeah. Yeah, he's doing this all in his own self-interest. Because if the president found out what he had done, that he basically was about to nuke a whole country to bury a secret research project to kill everyone within it so they could steal a weapon to destroy the world with, and he did it underhandedly. It's like, yeah, that's pretty fucking treacherous. Jim here's a colossal capital C C-U-N-T character who's entirely in it for himself and thinks he'll get away with everything. And that's why Liquid kind of doesn't care at this point, because he's like, we're gonna fucking die anyway, what does it matter? They're about to nuke us sky high.
Finish this before the airstrike.
Liquid, one more question before we begin this. Sure, Snake. I'll try and answer to the best of my ability. Why did you take my shirt off?
Only your death can satisfy.
Because it will make it more of an awesome battle. What?
Can return to me what is rightly mine. She'll make a beautiful sacrifice for our final battle.
So his ambitions were enough for everything else going on here.
It will be the time limit for our final battle. This nuclear module is set to detonate at the precise moment of her death.
Oh yeah, it's a fucking Liquid. Just to put a bit more pressure on the fight, he's wired a bomb to her heart rate. The moment she dies, the bomb goes off, so we're dead anyway.
If you win, you might still be able to save her.
And you also put a timer on it, so we gotta kill quick. Either she dies and the bomb goes off, or the timer goes off and goes out and this bomb goes off. Either way, he's gonna keep yapping for like another 10 seconds here. He's like, it's like the clock. Hey, Liquid, shut up! The clock's ticking. No, I've got to finish my monologue. If you fall off the edge here, you'll die instantly. If I fall off, I'll miraculously survive. Can we start the fight now? I'm going to say right now, I am really not good at this fight. I just kind of like go for it and pray. I don't really have much of a strategy. Oh, there is a really... I've never been good at it. There is a really cheeky loop you can get him in. But it's really hard. Does he laugh like I don't know, dude.
What's wrong, Snake?
I'm actually getting pretty lucky. He can be a real bitch when he wants to, and he's actually being kind of like generous. He's kind of just taking a lot of this in the face. Oh, this is actually the one thing you don't want. If he falls off the edge, he's just wasting time. No! I got 50 seconds left. Get the fuck up here. This might take a couple tries for the record. Oh, damn it. Oh, if I got the full combo, that might have done it. Fuck. So this might take a couple tries.
Have at you, Snake.
And you actually get more time now. Because he doesn't do the whole chat. But he still starts it at 3 minutes. Oh, shit! Ah, shit! Gotta keep it interesting, Snake. Yeah, right.
Nice shot!
Oh, I'm getting way... I'm getting... I don't want to speak too soon. I said that last time and then I got fucking destroyed. Because he will try and dodge around you, is what you're seeing here and there. Damn it. He's winning now, that's not good. Hey, keep doing this. Okay, now he's getting tired. This is why he starts falling down more. But like the trick, if you want to like combo him, it's very precise timing, which is why I obviously can't do it. If you do the first two punches, you can do punch punch, and if you time it right, you can let go just long enough that when you press punch again, Snake won't do the kick, and you can do punch punch, punch punch, punch punch, and you'll get him in a loop. And you can just do it all the way until the health bar hits 0. But I've never been able to, like, hit it. It's actually... It's like that, but also just a little quicker. We're done. Only took 2 attempts. Also, when you get his health bar to 0, your last kick has to throw him off an edge. Otherwise, he'll get back up. You have to actually, like, get him off the Metal Gear. So that was actually kind of lucky there that he was near the edge, so I could kick him straight off the edge when he hit 0. But that's the final boss. We are effectively done. We still got a little bit more gameplay, but the rest of the gameplay is kind of not scripted for you to win, but 99% scripted for you to win. That you can still kind of fuck it up, but it's unlikely.
Snake, is that you? Snake, oh, you're alive.
Also, if we gave in to the torture, Meryl wouldn't move. She would be dead.
Meryl,
yeah, only 2 tries. Sometimes that takes me a while, but if I'm being honest, Liquid was very nice.
It must have been terrible.
Like Liquid was like it really wasn't as much of a dick as he can be. Like sometimes I've done that fight and he's like super hyper aggressive, like dodging all of my attacks and doing that like headbutt where he charges halfway across the screen all the time and all that shit. Like sometimes he's a real dick. I actually got real lucky there.
Fighting them made me feel closer to you. I felt like you were there
Really
with
good fun
me.
sport, yeah.
It gave me the strength to go on.
And also, yeah, if you're someone who started the series of MGS4, that boss fight that we just did with Liquid might look at least slightly familiar because, yeah, that's how MGS4's final boss is. It's the same 2 people technically fighting, just, you know, Liquid's inside Ocelots because of all that bullshit.
There was one thing I was sure of. A single hope.
If you do give in to the torture, after Snake comes to terms with Meryl being dead here, Otacon will show up instead, and you'll escape with Otacon.
Snake.
Otacon survives regardless, because, you know, the rest of the series has to happen, but this is also technically the canon ending. He does survive. The canon ending of Metal Gear Solid is that Snake survives the torture and saves Meryl. And the MGS4 fight is better in my opinion. Oh, absolutely. I don't think there's a single soul on this planet that would argue against you. MGS1 is just a slap contest until one of you falls over. MGS4 is like a full cinematic adventure that has one last hurrah celebrating the legacy of the franchise.
We're about to be bombed.
Oh boy.
With each phase representing a Metal Gear Solid, even including the one you're actively playing. So you get to see and feel like how the franchise evolved in as you go. It's beautiful.
Garage right next to you. The tunnel leads from there to the surface.
It's one of the best executed ideas for a boss fight I've ever seen in the game. I don't know if it's my all-time favorite boss fight in Metal Gear Solid because there's a lot of fucking fantastic boss fights in the series, but it is up there.
What are you going to do?
I mean, that's the exact same game that has the infinite loop where you play it where you're Metal Gear Rex fighting Metal Gear Ray. That fight is insane and I live for it. MGS2 has Solidus. I love that fight. MGS3 has the end and the boss. Both great fights that I always love.
I'm staying here. It's my own decision.
Sense for free, but I'm still glad it's there. I mean, yeah, it's like, what the fuck? This is like, Snake has nothing to do with free. What do you mean? But it's still there, and it's still nice. It's also nice just to hear the bum 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 bum.
Snake, I'm a complete person now. I've found a reason to live.
Good. Don't die on me.
Same to you. Take care of Meryl, okay?
I will.
Okay, I gotta go. I promise I'll do something about your escape route.
Thanks.
Thanks? Well, that sounds nice.
I believe in you.
Thanks, Snake.
Let's get the hell out of here.
What about him? Where's Otakon?
Otakon? Meryl. Firstly, Meryl. It's not Otakon. It's Otakon. Show some respect.
The man he wants to be.
He's fighting for us too?
Yeah. And I don't want it to be in vain.
Me too.
Oh, the voice is Johnny and it's not with Otakon. The whole fucking thing with Johnny in 4 is still so silly to me.
No.
I get it. Like, Kojima wanted everyone to feel a part of it, so even the joke character, he wanted to have something.
It started.
But equally, that was such a weird fucking, like, twist. I was like, okay.
After all.
Looks that way. Too bad.
But Meryl can't divorce Johnny for Otakon. You know why? Because Otakon's heart is reserved for Snake, in my headcanon at least.
Snake, it's freezing outside. You need some clothes.
There's my sneaking suit.
Hurry up. Hurry!
Was it Meryl found a jacket to stick on?
Looking good, Snake.
And our sneaking suit was just left on the side there, so we'll be fine. Now it's time to leave. Alright, last gameplay sequence of the game. You just got to get the fuck out of here.
Hurry!
Yeah. Also, we still have nothing, so
I'll drive. Damn, surveillance camera. Damn, no keys.
What do you mean, no keys? Hurry up! Ah!
I got it, Snake. Jump in. Fire that machine gun with your weapon butt. Shoot him, Snake. Snake, hold on.
Metal Gear Dog ending, yeah. Well, this is the only section in the whole game where you can shoot whilst in first person. The amount of people that get to this point and like try and do all their shooting like this, like you can.
We'll never make it. Snake, clear a path. Okay, Snake, let's go.
Meryl was the. Yeah, to be fair, this was 3 years before Devil May Cry 1. But yeah, we're doing an escape sequence to end the game.
We'll never make it. Snake, clear a path.
I'm working on it.
You did it, Snake.
That's the joke. Yeah. Liquid's still alive, by the way.
It's not over yet! Liquid!
No! Once again, 2 months after this, fucking Tomb Raider 3 came out. Can you, like, I get why Tomb Raider was starting to fade in the public perception even at this point, if you weren't as interested. Because, like, the industry was evolving, and Tomb Raider was still just, like, doing, like, the same shit, but now with more bullshit traps. And yet, look at, this was what this did. It's like, on the PS1, 2 months prior to its release. Like, imagine playing this and then trying to play anything else when you were as a kid. Like, your mind just got blown. Like, you know, like this crazy multi-layered game with an intricate plot and story and plot twist and all this, like, bullshit at the end, this climactic final chase at the end bit with this bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it, you know? Like, even though I didn't grow up with Metal Gear Solid 1, my first Metal Gear Solid was MGS3. If you played this when this first came out, this would have been such a fucking eye-opener for what games can do. I really love Crazy Taxi. I mean, I really love Crazy Taxi. Yeah, great. Did you hear it's getting a reboot? It is? Then he swerves and crashes. Was there Spec Ops The Line? Man, I wish... If there was ever a game I hope would one day... I know, like, gameplay-wise it's kind of bad, but no one plays Spec Ops The Line for the gameplay, let's be honest. If there's ever a game I hope got ported to more platforms so more people could experience it, it's Spec Ops The Line. I know, like, it just ultimately didn't sell well when it came out because it was an over-the-shoulder shooter during a time where over-the-shoulder shooters were extremely oversaturated. You move? And to be blunt, its gameplay isn't even, like, the best or close to the best of its industry even at the time, but it's the story that's so amazing.
I can't see him either.
We also want an army of, Army 2 to get a remake. Yeah, that would be nice.
Uh-oh.
Liquid's still not dead, by the way. So he's survived being in a Hind D when it crashed and burned. He's survived blowing up inside of a Metal Gear. He's survived being kicked off said Metal Gear. He survived God knows how many bullets we fired him off the back of the truck turret. He survived the car crash. And then what finally gets him? Fox die. The virus that was put into Snake finally gets him. And he gets the heart attack that we saw the DARPA chief get. And the Arms Tech president. I really enjoyed Army 2. I only ever played the original through with my natural father at the time. Like when it came out. We both had a really good time with it, but we just never got around to the sequels.
Don't say it, Snake.
I know people really love the second one.
No stealth bombers in sight.
Snake, can you hear me?
Colonel.
Are you okay?
Colonel, what happened?
The Secretary of Defense has been arrested.
Jim got
Early retirement.
Arrested?
I was able to get into contact with the President. Metal Gear, the training exercise...
So I looked at him in Fury Point, it's kind of insane. Yeah, so we have to wait until after the credits roll, but there's still another twist surrounding Liquid that just makes everything even crazier when you think about it.
The orders were rescinded.
But yeah, the Colonel caught on that the President didn't know, so managed to, like, get the information to the President's hands. And then when the President heard of it, he went, Secretary of Defense is going to do fucking what? And so got him removed from his position. So Jim got by just people snitching on him, basically.
Thanks, Snake.
Colonel, you can rest easy. Meryl's fine.
Really? Thanks. Thank you, Snake. Snake, I'm sorry. I kept a lot of things from you.
It's okay, Colonel.
Snake, I'm not a colonel.
Oh, that's right.
I've got a present for you. There's a snowmobile close to you. Mei Ling saw it on the satellite photos. This time of year, the glaciers are pretty calm. You should be able to ride right out of there. I'll bet the boys at the DIA and the NSA never expected you to come home alive.
Me neither. I better not show my face around here.
No danger of that. You two officially died after your Jeep sank into the ocean.
That's not too far from the truth.
Also, there's a helicopter waiting for you on Fox Island.
Dr. Hal Emmerich should be somewhere on the base. I want someone to bring him in.
I understand. Leave it to me.
Okay, Roy. Are you gonna be okay?
Don't worry. I've got an insurance policy. A hard copy of all Mei Ling's data. As long as I've got that, you, me, and Mei Ling will be fine.
The battery on these nanomachines will run out soon. They won't be able to follow us.
I guess we won't meet again.
Don't worry. I'll pay you a visit sometime.
Really? I look forward to that.
Roy, just tell me one thing.
What?
About Fox Die.
Meryl will be fine. She wasn't included in its programming.
What about me? It killed Liquid.
Naomi said that she wants to talk to you face to face about that.
How is she?
Don't worry. Mei Ling is with her right now. I'm switching over to Naomi.
War buddies, yeah.
Naomi.
Oh, the only other detail, and you only get this if you get the bad ending, if Meryl dies. Roy Campbell will reveal that Meryl isn't actually his niece.
He told me to tell you to forget about him.
His daughter.
And go on with your own life.
And it was something that he had to hide from her because essentially, like, she was born. I think it was. I can't remember the details on my head, but I think it was like she was born out of an affair.
Naomi,
and Campbell didn't want Meryl to think of her own mother poorly, so kept it hidden and just played the role of being the uncle instead.
Strengthen his body.
Maybe.
But you only find that out if you get the bad ending. But it is something that's important and gets brought up in later Metal Gear Solids, which is why I'm bringing it up now. So when I get to the later games, it's not just like, surprise! It's, you know.
He's been like a ghost.
War buddies are the weirdly wholesome dynamic. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things, even though, to be blunt, Roy Campbell's a little bit of a fucking asshole in MGS4 at times, and some of the decisions he makes are baffling. It was one of the things that I really enjoyed about 4, was getting to see Snake and Campbell just kind of talk to one another and just hang out with each other for a bit.
That's up to you.
Oh, by the way, Naomi doesn't answer Snake's question here. Where am I gonna go? That's up to you.
Dies when their time is up.
Yeah, but when's my time up?
Yeah, so when's mine up?
It's up to you how you use the time left to you.
Naomi, answer the damn question!
Live, Snake.
The reason why she's dodging the question is because she doesn't have an answer. She doesn't know. But the virus that in the Fox Die was directly designed to kill people of a certain genetic makeup. And despite being twins, it killed Liquid, but clearly didn't kill Snake, which is the final nail in the coffin about this whole game's theme. Snake never let his genes define him. His genes then didn't kill him. Liquid was permanently defined by his genes, and it killed him.
Where I came from. I thought that if I analyzed my DNA, I could find out who I was, who my parents were.
Also, it baffles my mind that they just left Liquid there.
Path I should take in life.
Well, I'm just saying, he just goes, Fox, die, and falls over. I wouldn't assume that's a heart attack and he's insta-dead. I would take that thermos from him and just fucking double tap him a little bit, you know? Like, just one more bullet, you know? Just to fucking double check.
Information, but that doesn't make them into the strongest soldiers. The most we can say about DNA is that it governs a person's potential strengths, potential destiny. You mustn't allow yourself to be chained to fate, to be ruled by your genes. Humans can choose the type of life they want to live. Snake, whether or not you're in the Fox Die program isn't important. The important thing is that you choose life. And then live. Don't you think, Snake? Don't worry. I'm going to choose life too. Until today, I've always looked for a reason to live. But from here on, I'm going to just live.
Oh, you know why I said that whole thing with Liquid bringing up that Snake doesn't have a name really bothered Snake? Because he does have a name, but it always bothers him that people don't know it. And I said that, remember that for later, because it's going to stick with him enough that he's going to bring it up later on.
Loving each other.
Well, he's going to bring it up again in a minute. He's going to...
That's how we can change the world.
And it's going to seemingly come out of nowhere, but it's just, it is what it is. Just live by day here.
The true meaning of life.
You know, here's our getaway vehicle.
Thank you, Snake.
Look, I found this.
Oh, hey, this is your ending completion.
Let's keep it as a reminder.
Of what?
Oh, yeah, I know the one you're on about.
Successful mission?
But if you get here with Meryl, she finds a bandana. That is the infinite bandana. On future playthroughs, if you equip it, you have unlimited ammo. If you get the bad ending, when you get here with Otacon, Otacon will say, I don't need this anymore, and will give you the active camo that he was using all game. You know the thing that made him invisible?
Everyone is.
Which is wild, because I can't stress enough, the active camo is infinitely better as a reward than infinite ammo in a stealth game.
What about
And it's like, what do you mean the bad ending's what gets you the unarguably better reward?
For someone else.
Someone else?
Yeah. Someone like you.
Well, so they set up like there's going to be like this whole love story thing, but the crazy thing is that when we get to Metal Gear Solid 4, it never manifested between the two. Their lives went down different paths, but that's a long way away.
To, Snake?
David.
There it is. The man just randomly drops his real name. His name is David.
So where to, Dave?
And if anyone curious, Liquid's real name is Eli.
I think it's time we look for a new path in life.
A new path?
A new purpose.
Will we find it?
We'll find it.
And the other twin, the other sibling that we'll get to Metal Solid 2, Solidus, his name is George.
Caribou. To the Aleutians, the caribou is a symbol of life. It'll be spring here soon.
For us too.
Yeah. Spring brings new life.
And I suppose for the other code names, anyone curious, Raiden's real name is Jack, and Naked Snake, or Big Boss's real name is John. Yes, almost every character but like Eli have very, very standard names. It kind of, like, I think it was deliberate to try and humanize them a bit more.
I think I'm gonna like this new life.
Come on. Let's enjoy life.
Eli's gonna stand here in the States too? Oh, well, fair enough. Then you know what I mean. Yeah, all in all of them have relatively normal names. And very, almost plain names. In the 1980s, there were more than 60,000 nuclear warheads in the world at all times. A total destructive power amounted to 1 million times that of the Hiroshima bomb. In 1993, START 2 was signed, and the United States and Russia agreed to reduce the number of deployed strategic nuclear warheads to 3,000 to 3,500 each day. However, as of 98, there are still 26,000 nuclear warheads in the world. And that's Metal Gear Solid. Just drops that last little bit of a history bombshell on you. Some of those are the George W. Bush numbers here. So this game came out in 1998, but that's Metal Gear Solid. The one that kind of, although it wasn't the very first Metal Gear, because also we had Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, but it's the one that started it all in terms of this series taking off. It was the one that got the ball rolling and made the franchise the powerhouse that it is today. And yeah, sorry, this song always gets me a little bit. The song that we're listening to is played on occasion throughout the course of the game. The song that's playing, very, very fittingly for the types and for like the themes and messages of this game. The song is called "The Best Is Yet to Come." Less news being dismantled. But it's it's a fantastic game. And, like, there's not really much more else to say, because what can be said, it's one of those things that's been around for so long, and anyone who's played it could tell you that it's fucking phenomenal. It's Metal Gear Solid. I love the music, I love the story it tells, I love the quirkiness it has here and there, like otaku convention. I love the real-world footage they use here and there, so it felt like you learn something as you go. I love the message and themes that this game has. There's so much about Metal Gear Solid, the original, that just holds up so beautifully today. And some of its messages and themes still are very prevalent to this way, especially when it starts talking about, you know, like, its war economy and, like, the nuclear, like, the fear of nuclear and, like, treaties and shit. there's so much of it that's still very prevalent and still very topical. All these years later, fucking, this came out in 98, nearly 25 years later. Actually, no, it is 25 years. You know, like, it's wild. And it's only going to get wilder. Fucking Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 2 releasing in 2001, the shit it talks is terrifyingly on point for reality nowadays. Every year that passes, Metal Gear Solid 2's story becomes more relevant, and the fact that it does is scary. Like, it is genuinely terrifying. Like, and what's terrifying as well is that it was so predictable. Like, Metal Gear Solid 2, not Metal Gear Solid 2's plot, I mean, when Metal Gear Solid 2 talks about, the fact that the things it talks about, you take a step back and you go, yeah, it makes sense that this would happen in the end. And then and now in the real world, we literally are watching it every year happen more and more. Voice director Chris Zimmerman. But this whole game, by the way, it was localized to English by one fucking guy. Like, Jesus Christ, that guy deserved a raise. Because that was a hell of a lot of work. The localizer for this game was one person. And as you can see, Hideo Kojima, his name pops up a lot. He wasn't just a director, he was involved in so much in the foundation of everything in this game's development. But I can't thank only him. When like the director and writer came along, there was a name alongside it, and that name, it's on my head. It slipped my mind. But that name is important too, because that name disappears after Metal Gear Solid 3. Starting MGS4, he stopped becoming involved, and the reason why I bring that up is because Metal Gear Solid's writing as a whole noticeably changes starting with MGS4. Not in a bad way, I still love all the Metal Gear Solid games, most of the ones even after 4. But it is different, you do notice it. Oh, this song. It's not even, I love this song, but it's not even my favourite song in the series. And it's not even my favourite credit song. My favourite credit song is Way to Fall, the credit theme of MGS3. I was in that one. When I eventually get to MGS3, don't be surprised if I fall quiet during that credits, because it's one of those tracks, it's one of those songs that for some reason always gets me. Every single time I hear it, no matter what, it always makes me choke up a bit. But this song is beautiful as well. It genuinely is a lot longer than I think people realise, but it's such a phenomenally beautiful song. All of the credit songs are. Can't Say Goodbye to Yesterday, the next game song. Way to Fall, as I already said. Heaven's Divide, although it's the main theme, it's also the credits theme. I forget what Paul Ops' song is called, but Paul Ops' song is pretty damn good. All the fucking license songs they use at MGS5, Not Your Kind of People, Nuclear, Here's to You, and obviously the big one, The Man Who Sold the World, was so fitting and so poetically, like, perfect for that game. And like for me personally, I love Not Your Kind of People. And the band is funnily enough, the band's called Garbage, but I love that.
Allow yourself to be chained to fate, to be ruled by your genes. Humans can choose the type of life they want to live. The important thing is that you choose life, and then live.
Yes, sir. The entire unit was wiped out. Those two are still alive. The Vector? Yes, sir. Fox Die should become activated soon. Right on schedule. Yes, sir. I recovered all of Rex's dummy warhead data. No, sir. My cover is intact. Nobody knows who I really am.
But Ocelot said I got all of its data. I brought it up. During the torture sequence, he took the disc off us that had all of Metal Gear's weapon data. So you actually saw that happen. He's not just talking out of his arse here. You saw that happen. And you see that line there? The inferior one?
Liquid thought he was the inferior one. Yes, sir.
The biggest fucking twist.
It takes a well-balanced individual.
The biggest twist at the very, very end of this. Liquid did not have the recessive genes. He got it wrong. Solid Snake was the one that had all the recessive genes. Liquid had all the dominant ones. And yet, despite that, the recessive, the one that in Liquid's mind was the one that made him inferior, was the one that won in the end in the first place. His entire ideology was built on him not understanding something, and it was broken, and he doesn't even realize it was broken. Also, the big mic drop that we got at the end there, he was talking to the president the whole time, the US president. The entire time, Ocelot was a double agent working for the United States president. And the United States president is George Sears in this game's continuity, who is also Solidus, the main villain of the next game. Yeah, through sheer piss and vinegar, he survived all that, yeah. Anyway, we played on normal. Our playtime was 6 hours and 48 minutes. To get the best ranking, you need to be under 3 hours. I saved 11 times. To get the best ending, you need to save less than 80, I'm not kidding here, 80 times. They give you 80 fucking saves for some reason. I accepted a death and just continued 4 times, which you need to get 0 for the best ending. I got found 20 times. I think you have to get found less than 3 times. I killed 88 enemies. I think it's less than 5. No, it's less than 9, because you have 5 mandatory kills. And rations, I want to say that's less than 2. If you hit all of them, you get Fox rank, if you're playing on hard. Or if you're playing in the Japanese version, you don't need to play on hard. You can play on normal and get it, which is what I'll be doing when I try and get that trophy. But our codename is Leopard, and the special item you get for beating the game on the good ending is the bandana, or the infinite ammo bandana. Trophy unlocked, decked out. Oh, is that for getting the bandana? It is. And that's Metal Gear Solid. I'm glad I spent the time to play this game. I wish both session 1 and 2 didn't have internet trouble that drove me up the wall, because we genuinely could have had this game done in 2 sessions, but we just got fucked, for lack of a better word. But it is what it is. Oh, was it going to say we need to put in disc 1? Because we're technically still on disc 2. Yep. I just want to see what the roll call thing says and what that's about. That's funny. The game still remembers what disc you're on. That's funny. Oh, okay. That literally is just cutscene viewer.
This is Snake.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't need to see the rest of this. But that's it. That's Metal Gear Solid. Additionally, with the Master Collection, what I can actually bring up quickly if we're up to the main menu, there is the, at the time, European-only special mission, the VR mission collection, which is what was released in the US, and then Integral, which was the final Japanese-only version that came out a year later that had a bunch of extra abilities and whatnot. Extra stuff attached to it. So it's kind of like a director's cut version, but for the sake of the Let's Play, I did the original. There's a trophy for doing every VR mission. The trophy only pops if you do it in the special mission copy, by the way. And it takes like 6 hours, and it's 6 hours of my life I'm never getting back, because to be blunt, it's not fun. In fact, I will quickly show you it. And then I will wrap up. Oh yeah, for some reason the special missions disc lags the fuck out all the time. Like in this Master Collection. Like, it wasn't an optimized port really at all. But even this is showing what it is. It's a whole shit ton of little missions you have to do. You have to beat every single one of them. There's 3 fucking 100 of them. As I say, it took me about 6 hours, and it was like 6 hours of my life not getting back, because most of these suck. As I say, that most of them are just boring. There's a few of them that are viciously bad, and I will try and show them off if I remember where they are. God, I'm getting, it's like a trauma thing. I'm just looking at all this little footage and I'm just like, oh god, I remember that mission. Oh god, I remember that mission. Oh god, I remember that mission. You know, the whole way. That mission fucking sucks. I hate that mission. That mission that you just saw there, that mission was awful. Oh god. The whole gimmick with that mission where you're shooting through the glass is that you can't trigger an alarm and there's an enemy on either side of you and you only have the thumbers. You're supposed to like run over glass panels and like knock on the walls to keep the enemies far back enough that they don't hear you shoot. But every time like they lose track of you, they will push forward. So you have to keep on like shooting through the glass, backtracking, shoot through the glass, backtracking. Or instead of doing that, you just pray to God. You knock on it once and just hold forward and shoot and pray to fucking God you get through it before they get close enough to hear you. Because if they hear you, they hear a bullet, it will automatically instantly count as a spotting, and you'll trigger the alert and it'll fail you. That mission fucking sucks as well. That one's alright. And then if you do every single mission, you get the photo, which is what it's showing here, where you get to take pictures of Mei Ling and Naomi.
Get careless.
Oh, Jesus, right, yeah. There's also an entire game mode called Mystery, and an entire game mode where you play as Grey Fox. And you get to experience sword combat pre-Metal Gear Solid 2. Yep. Is it just showing every single one of the 300 missions? This is a long-ass opening. I've never watched this. Okay, never mind, there it is.
On board the Discovery.
But if I show, because I have done it. I've done all of these, which is why they're all gold. In the sneaking mission, you have 15 practice levels. You have to do all of them before it unlocks a time attack. You have to do all of them. Then you have it with your SOCOM, same again, 15, 15. That's already 60 of them. In weapons mode, every single weapon has 5 practice and 5 time attacks. And that's including like the SOCOM, the C4, so 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140 missions you're on there. Advanced mode is the same again with all the weapons, so 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220. And then there's this bitch. Special mode has a lot. You have 1 minute battle where you have to pick one of each weapon. And then you have it again, but with always enemy. Then you have versus 12, where there's always 12 enemies, and you have to find a way to deal with them. And there's 8 levels for it. Mystery. Mystery is an interesting gimmick where there's a dead body, and essentially you have to play spot the difference. There'll be 3 guards around it, and there'll be something unique about one of the guards each time. You have to figure out which one it is, and then drag them to the victory point to win. Puzzle is where you will hate yourself. Puzzle Mission 9 and Puzzle Mission 10 are both the spawns of Satan. They fucking are awful. I will quickly show you them. The way it works is that the goal is in the middle. I'm not going to try and solve it now. The goal is in the middle. But there's a camera looking at both entrances. The only way to get in is to destroy the cameras. But you only have C4 and you can't get close enough. You have to lure that guard in front of us all the way around, circle him, place a C4 on his back, and then lure him to the far back wall. So when he tries to reset back to this position, he runs through the middle. And then when you detonate the C4, it will take out both the cameras with it. If that sounds easy, I want you to keep in mind getting spotted immediately If you get spotted at all by either him or the camera, it ends immediately. It's fucking awful. That mission alone took me forever and single-handedly made me not commit to double dipping. So I might go for the platinum for this game, but I'm absolutely not doing it twice. Level 10, however, is another piece of hell. You need to destroy that wall. Your only weapon is a claymore, meaning you need to get... And you look at how much life you have, so you can't use yourself. You have to lure that guard to it. What we're standing on will leave footprints. You have to lure him across the entire obstacle course. However, your footprints have a maximum distance, so you can't go too far ahead of him. So you have to lure him, being only just barely out of his vision cone, the whole way around, and then lure him into the claymore over there. I was at this mission for an hour. That's another one. It sounds simple enough until you're trying to fucking do it. Variety is that every mission is something a little different. Some of them are alright, some of them suck. There's 13 of them. Then you have the VR mission. The VR mission is 10 levels back to back that you have to try and beat in a row. And if you fail, you're back to the start. It sounds horrendous, but if you just take your time and pace yourself, it's not too bad. It's just frustrating if you get really far on and fuck it up. Ninja and New Game Selection are the last ones you get. New Game Selection are just like 8 final unique challenges that are a bit different from out there. Ninja is that you get to play as Grey Fox. I'll show one of these off. There is construction going on outside, so hopefully it's not too loud, but we are about to wrap up. But after I show this off, there's one more thing actually in the extra. Circle will do your basic combo. Square will do your swipe. You can jump, so press X to do so. And it gives you 3 objectives in this one level. The first one is just destroy all the targets. One of them is destroy all the guards. And one of them is that one guard is actually Solid Snake. You have to find him amidst everyone else and fight him. That is very loud. It's drilling a little up the road. That is very loud. Hope you guys can't hear it too bad. So once we're done here, I will wrap up after this. There's one over there. And the 4 in the middle. And then I believe there's one at the end. I believe there's one way over here. Oh, actually, it's here. Never mind. I was expecting it to be at the end. And then there you go. You're done. And that's like the first level, and there's like 2 more of them. Like, they're like the nice... like, pace breakers. But when you beat every single one of them and get 100%, your final reward for all of your trouble... Oh, is it not here? Is it not going to show it? Is it not around? Damn. Actually, it said like I press up there. Let me try that. Okay, no, never mind. Oh, is it really not here? Damn. When you beat all the missions, it comes up with an image. Let me load up this again, see if I can find it. It's got to be somewhere that you can bring it back up. No, it really isn't her. It comes up with an image. Sorry, just to, I know I'm like baiting you along at this point. It comes up with an image of Metal Gear Ray teasing Metal Gear Solid 2. You get a blueprint document of Metal Gear Ray, the Metal Gear of the sequel. Which I just thought was kind of cool. I was like, oh, that would have been sick at the time for people that suffered all them. But finally, to wrap this up, you have the master book that's added to and that's part of the collection. That you can get a breakdown of everything within the game, techniques, Easter eggs, little extra bits and bobs here and there. Oh, also at the end here, which button's to zoom? No. There's a thing here that tells you where every single ghost is. At the tip of Rex's railgun. But I think the camera that you can find is what was I going to say? The door 7 that we didn't go back for. I think the camera's in there. And this is in Change of the First Completion. On completing the game once, you can play through the game for second time but learn to completely save there. From the second playthrough on, the camera angle when Snake stands up at the cargo dock is different. And if you play the game after escaping with Meryl and Otacon on separate playthroughs, the cyborg ninja will have a red body. Additionally, Snake will be in a tuxedo. Survive Ocelot's torture, Meryl will accompany Snake at the ending, giving him the infinite bandana. If you give in to Ocelot's torture, Otacon will be with Snake instead and gives him the stealth camo. Oh, and this is saying, like, the post-completion, the best results. If you play on Extreme, you can get Big Boss. Clear the game in less than 3 hours without any continues, being discovered less than 4 times, killing less than 25 enemies, and a maximum of 1 ration. Fox, hard, same idea. And then normal and easy, the same thing. So your best rank gets better and better on your difficulties. But if you're playing on Japanese, none of this matters, because you can get Fox anyway. Oh, you can also, if you're reading for this, you can change the music. You can bookmark stuff. And lastly, but certainly not least, this part's actually kind of cool. There's the screenplay. Where's the quick shift? You have the screenplay book. You can personally read through the entire fucking screenplay of the game. And I mean the entire thing. Starting with the briefing. And it goes all the way through. So if you were ever curious, there it is. It's the same for everything in this. But that's going to do from me. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It genuinely really helps this channel grow. I hope you enjoyed this run of Metal Gear Solid. And maybe at some point when I'm not like getting like beaten down by like 7 different fucking RPGs this year, I will get to Metal Gear Solid 2. Wouldn't that be fun? But until then, you guys take care now. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Additionally, you can find my Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal in the description of every single video. But until then, you guys take care now. Peace.